Chapter 356. Sixth brother apologized to Jing Yun. The old man instructed. Grandfather, I told you to apologize. You already know who he is and yet you're still causing trouble. Don't the Su family know how to verify his identity? The Su family has already verified Jing Yun's identity, so stop causing trouble for the Xing family. Sixth brother was promptly stunned at the old man's words, a look of disbelief on his face. He's actually the son of a rich family. He's really become a phoenix. Apologized to Jing Yun. Sixth brother was utterly indignant, but still walked up to Jing Yun and said, I was being rude just now. I hope you won't hold it against me, young Master Su. Jing Yun rose from his chair, picked up the teacup beside him and poured tea over sixth brother's head right in front of the Xing family. Now we're even. Jing Yun, don't be so condescending now that you're in power. Sixth brother was furious. If it wasn't for Minglan, I would have turned you into a dog and barked in front of me instead of just a cup of tea. Mu Qiqi looked at Jing Yun and then at Xing Xiao beside her. As the saying goes, one is marked by the company one keeps. Jing Yun was really the same as her, having inherited Xing Xiao's disdain for everyone around him. Alright, it's a good day today. Jing Yun, you're here to propose marriage, so it's best not to strain your relationship with the Xing family. After all, this is fourth sister's maiden home. However, it was not just Jing Yun. Even Xing Minglan herself had never considered the Xing family as a maternal family she could rely on. To put it bluntly, Jing Yun was simply informing the old man that he was marrying Xing Minglan. If the Su family was happy, they would simply invite the old man over for a drink. If they were unhappy, they would simply settle the matter, leaving the Xing family with no drama to play. After being humiliated, sixth brother turned to glare at Xing Xiao resentfully. After all, he was convinced that Xing Xiao must have given him the wrong information to lure him back, so that he could avenge Jing Yun right in front of him. After all, he had always called out to Jing Yun as a dog. The Su family's reunion banquet is in a few days. I'm planning to announce my relationship with Minglan there too. That's for the best. If the people of Jianchuan didn't know about Jing Yun's identity, he couldn't afford to lose face and spread rumors that his granddaughter was having an affair with a servant. When the time comes, I hope that all of you will come. That night, the old man learned how different Jing Yun was after becoming a member of the Su family. That was why he liked power so much. It was because only those with power had the right to speak. Just look at Jing Yun now. Wasn't he just a matter of opening his mouth if he wanted something? There was no need to be as desperate as before. Soon Jing Yun left with his bodyguards, and that was when sixth brother pointed at Xing Xiao. You deliberately spread the news to me and lured me here. You're the one who doesn't have a brain. Why are you blaming me? Xing Xiao smiled in return. There's a saying that goes, every dog has its day. You used to look down on Jing Yun and his background, but from now on you'll suffer as long as he tries to get back at you. You probably never thought that this day would come when you called him a dog. There was hatred in sixth brother's eyes. What he hated most was being treated like a puppet by Xing Xiao and manipulated as he pleased. Let's go home, Qi. Holding Mu Qiqi's hand, Xing Xiao followed Jing Yun out of the Xing residence. At this time, the old man looked at the backs of the two people as they left. He had a meaningful look on his face. The Gu family had agreed to it and Miss Gu had given her consent. After Xing Minglan's matter was settled, it would be Xing Zhao's turn anyway. He was still thinking that he could bring Miss Gu to the Xing family on his birthday, and when that time comes Mu Qiqi would have to give way to Miss Gu. But Mu Qiqi wasn't the kind of person who would give way. She still wanted to hold the title of Xing Zhao's woman for life. Don't bother with Xing Xiao and that Mu Qiqi now. You won't be around for long. Old Xing told sixth brother. Sixth brother wasn't smart, but he caught the meaning in the old man's words. Grandfather, you're saying, don't be so flustered. It's only a matter of time. Sixth brother cleared the tea leaves off his head and only then did he feel better. Xing Xiao, Mu Qiqi. Let's see how long you can keep being arrogant. Soon Jing Yun returned to the Su residence, where Xing Minglan and Mama Su were waiting for him in the living room. Did everything go well? Reasonably speaking, your father and I should show up, but I don't want to give that old man so much face. Don't worry. Everything went well. Jing Yun replied. Go upstairs with Minglan and get some rest. Mama Su urged them. So you have to be careful. Even if it's nothing new to get married with a child, You have to consider your father's face and restrain yourself before the wedding. Xing Minglan blushed at those words. Jing Yun held Xing Minglan's hand and led her to their bedroom. You don't have to go back as long as you don't have to interact with the Xing family. Xing Minglan reached out and hugged Jing Yun, nodding in his arms. You're holding back for me, aren't you? I'm not like young master in the first place. I can't do such a flashy vengeance, and as long as the Xing family doesn't make things difficult for me, I won't target them since I owe them a debt. We'll start all over from now on. They hugged each other resolutely, but Jing Yun kept Mama Su's words in mind. He wanted to give Xing Minglan a wedding like no other, and she wouldn't look good in a wedding dress if she was pregnant. I'll marry you soon. Mu Qiqi never imagined that there would be a day when Jing Yun would treat someone like that, pouring tea over sixth brother's head. Even now, when he recalled that scene, he would still feel extremely satisfied. Did I tell you to stay in bed after your bath so you could laugh? Xianxia returned to the bedroom with a towel wrapped around his waist, promptly pinching Mu Qiqi's nose when he saw her smile. Mu Qiqi pulled off his towel and squeezed herself into his arms. I was laughing at Grandpa's compromising look. Xianxia wrapped his arms around her, only to find that his little one wasn't wearing pajamas either. Hence, he lifted her chin and asked, "What are you doing?" Mu Qiqi's eyes sparkled with extreme infatuation as she looked at Xianxia. What do you think? I want you to tell me. Chapter 357. Old Xing was wary of the Su family's background, which was why he agreed to Jing Yun and Xing Minglan's marriage. Still, he did not specifically bother Xianxia or Mu Qiqi, which left Xianxia puzzled. With the old man's volatile temper, the first person he would deal with after Xing Minglan's matter would be Xing Zhao's Qi. Even so, the old man had not made a move until now, which was rather unusual. Xianxia had Mama Xing pay special attention to the old man's movements, but aside from the few times he left the house without letting his family know, there was really nothing out of the ordinary. His birthday was in March and Xianxia would definitely be on his guard. Of course, no one knew that the great crown prince of Huangyao was already preparing to shift his focus to do something great with his father-in-law. Be that as long as the old man did not go overboard, he would not tell anyone about it. But if the old man really did something else to Mu Qiqi, there was nothing he could do. Meanwhile, the Su couple had asked Su Yihong to arrange an appropriate position for Jing Yun in Su Holdings. Su Yihong agreed to help his younger brother as well, and let Jing Yun know what aspects Su Holdings was involved in as soon as possible. That was a breakthrough point for Su Yihong against Jing Yun. Since your identity is still unknown, I can't put you in a position that's too obvious. I could only have you work at the grassroots level and get a general idea of Su Holdings. You've thought it through, brother. Jing Yun said to Su Yihong discreetly. At the end of the day, Su Yihong was just using this method to provoke Jing Yun. The young master of the Su family was actually being assigned to the most basic of positions. It would be a humiliation for anyone, and he wanted Jing Yun to complain to the Su couple. That way he could easily incite conflict between Jing Yun and his parents. But he was wrong. First, Jing Yun knew that he was the mastermind behind his abandonment, which was why he knew that the old man would deliberately set a trap for him. Second, Jing Yun was not an impetuous person. Moreover, he believed that he should be in contact with the lowest levels of Su Holdings. Everything should be learned from the basics, which was why he did not find it humiliating. After all, the people of Jianchuan recognized his ability and knew that he was not a good-for-nothing. Therefore, Su Yihong's move was, in truth, nothing more than shooting himself in the foot in the end. Even so, he had to hurry up and investigate the connection between Su Yihong and the eldest uncle of the Su family. At this time, Lin Mu had just returned to school and was about to face the holidays again. However, he did not want to go back to the Lin family. That was why he called Lu Qianxian on the first night of the holidays. I'm on vacation, little pepper. You have no sympathy at all. You know I ran away from home and yet you leave me to fend for myself. What else? Lu Qianxian changed her clothes while talking to Lin Mu and on the phone. I don't believe that you really have nowhere to go. I used to have a lot of friends, but they are all fair-weather friends. I'm afraid they won't agree to stay with me now, Lin Mu replied. Who told you to lose power? Lu Qianxian wanted to bite him through the phone. You have a month's holiday, right? And are you really not going back to the Lin family for the new year? I don't want to. Lin Mu and answered Lu Xianxian very firmly. If I go back to the Lin family, Grandpa will come up with all kinds of traps and tricks to stop me from going back to the police academy. I don't want to take the risk anymore. If that's the case, I'll reluctantly accept you. Lu Xianxian pretended to sigh. You can be my bodyguard for this month. I'm lacking a sparring partner and a punching bag anyway. Then where should I stay? Your little boudoir? The storeroom suits you quite well. What do you think? Lu Xianxian drove Lin Mu to the police academy gates and they left together. Meanwhile, Grandpa Lin's hands trembled uncontrollably as he watched his grandson being taken away by Lu Xianxian. Those two are still in contact after all. Since that animal wants to suffer, I'll fulfill his wish. Lin Mu kept feeling a cold breeze blowing at him from behind, and wondered if he was being overly suspicious. To tell the truth, I just need a simple place to stay. It's about the same as the police academy. I'll gladly endure it. Tiski. A young master of the Lin family is actually freeloading off a woman like me. Didn't I say that I'll be your bodyguard? Lin Mu An's training these days had yielded great results. When I graduate from the police academy, you'll be the biggest contributor. Lu Xianxian smiled mockingly at Lin Mu An. Then I'll have to trouble you, young Master Lin. In fact, Lu Xianxian had prepared a small apartment for Lin Mu An. It was a very simple apartment. The two walked around the small apartment and then sat in the living room to drink just like the last time at the hotel. As expected, you're my best friend. Lu Xianxian looked at Lin Mu An. He had become sturdier and his figure had become better. He looked much more manly now. Then how are you going to introduce me to a girlfriend you like in the future? Lu Xianxian asked Lin Mu An, holding a bottle of wine. Lin Mu An put his arm around Lu Xianxian's neck and said, half drunk, I'll break up with anyone who doesn't accept you as my best friend. Lu Xianxian's heart skipped a beat at that. Not many women would accept their boyfriend to have a female confidant. So what? I like it. Lin Mu An's alcohol tolerance was actually very good, but he was outclassed by Lu Xianxian, who had cultivated herself. So when Lin Mu An collapsed on the floor, Lu Xianxian was still very sober. Watching Lin Mu An's sleeping face, Lu Xianxian leaned over the table and whispered, me too. If anyone dares to say anything about your existence, I'll tell them to get lost. With that, she picked up a blanket from the bed and put it over Lin Mu An. Good night, future Officer Lin. Little Pepper. Lin Mu An smiled in his sleep. I'll protect you for the rest of my life. I'll protect my best friend. Idiot. Lu Xianxian scolded him with a smile and returned home late at night. Because she didn't want to be caught and humiliated by old Master Lin once more. When she got home, Mama Lu smelled alcohol on her and advised her, Xianxian, don't give up on yourself because of what happened in the past. What are you thinking, Mom? I'm drinking with Lin Mu An. Lu Xianxian quickly explained. He's left the Lin family and doesn't even have a place to stay. I can't just stand by as he and I are friends, and I've taken him in as my bodyguard. Really just friends. Mama Lu confirmed with Lu Xianxian. Chapter 358. Old Xing wanted Mu Qiqi to give up her position to Miss Gu, but he had to mend his relationship with Mu Qiqi and eighth brother before that, or he wouldn't have the chance to get close to Mu Qiqi at all. After all, he knew very well that the harder he treated eighth brother, the more Xianxia would retaliate. Of course, he couldn't be friendly to them for no reason. Given how smart eighth brother was, wouldn't that be telling him that he had something to gain from it? He had to set it up meticulously to avoid Xiao's suspicion. Mending their relationship could be done at the same time as contacting Miss Gu. Meanwhile, Xiao had transferred second brother back from abroad to groom the person in charge of Huang Yao. His excuse was that Jing Yun had returned to the Su family, and he needed someone capable to share the burden. Second brother had always been convinced of Xiao's ability, and had been diligent and never slacking off over the years. Since Xiao had summoned him this time, he naturally had to find someone abroad to handle the handover. And in Xiao's mind, second brother had more than enough talent, but he wasn't ruthless enough. Still, that wasn't a problem. At the very least, he was 100 times better than a good-for-nothing like sixth brother. Old Xing didn't notice anything amiss with Xiao's excuse. He was naturally happy that another grandson was coming home, but he would never know that Xiao was smarter than he imagined and more meticulous as well. Wouldn't the few times he went out without telling the Xing family that he was meeting people attract suspicion? The old man simply believed that he was in control of the situation. In the evening, Mu Qiqi had dinner with Xiao, and the two of them sat in the study, each busy with their own matters. Watching Mu Qiqi's back as she wrote her report, Xiao suddenly smiled and reached out to pull her into his arms. I'm going to the airport tomorrow to meet second brother of the Xing family. Mu Qiqi could tell from Xiao's expression that second brother wasn't a bad person since he was going to the airport. Jing Yun's gone. Did you ask him to come back and help you? Xiao hummed softly in acknowledgement. He had not revealed anything to Mu Qiqi until now. Mu Qiqi studied Xiao carefully and smiled slyly. Are you hiding something from me? When Xiao heard that, he suddenly became playful. How did you know that? Who can tell what you're thinking? Mu Qiqi snorted. I just have this intuition. If you can't see anything, go take a shower. Xiao patted her head. I'll take you to see your aunt tomorrow. All right. Xiao's smile deepened as he watched Mu Qiqi get up. He wanted to protect the little one's ever-happy smile the most. He did not want her to change her quirky personality just because she had to face the Xing family. She had promised Xin Jianchuan that she would make Mu Qiqi happy in the Xing family. But now he was afraid that this wish could not be realized. The strength he used on the old man could totally be used to rebuild an empire. Since that was the case, why fight that tough battle again? After Mu Qiqi went upstairs, Xiao put down the documents in his hand and called his father-in-law. I've read the resumes of these people. That Su Che meets my requirements. You're quite picky. Su Che was a retired Special Forces soldier. Xin Jianchuan smiled. Still, being your assistant doesn't require extraordinary abilities. All right, I'll arrange for you to meet him later. But aren't you going to tell Mu Qiqi? She would know when the time is right. Since it is a military enterprise, it is not like Huang Yao, which needs to understand management and diamonds. He chose Su Che because Su Che knows a lot of weapons which ordinary assistants can't catch up to. Moreover, if there is an emergency, Su Che can protect himself and Qi. Good boy. Good. He'll report to you in 2 days. As a matter of fact, the person Xiao should be communicating with the most was his mother. However, he knew that Mama Xing would definitely be suspicious of his arrangements, which was why he did not have to tell her. The next day, the couple went to the airport to pick up Xiao. When Mu Qiqi saw second brother, she immediately understood why Xiao would think of him as an elder brother. Since they were cousins, they certainly shared some similarities. On the other hand, this brother of his had clear eyes and was frank with others, which suited Xiao's taste at first glance. You must be the youngest sister-in-law, Mu Qiqi? Second brother extended a hand to Mu Qiqi. Your name really rings like thunder. Mu Qiqi shook his hand and smiled. You're flattering me. I'm really sorry that I didn't even come when you got engaged. Still, so many things have happened at home while I was abroad. It feels like a lifetime has passed, especially Jing Yun's matter. You're probably not used to it without him, are you? What do you think? Xiao lifted a brow at second brother. Then I'll come back and take over Jing Yun's job as your assistant. No? I have other arrangements for my assistant. You're more suited for another position. Xiao said mysteriously. Second brother appeared puzzled. Although he had always been impressed by eighth brother's intelligence, he was afraid that he could not have the rapport with Xiao like Jing Yun did with someone smart. Both brothers were dressed in black tailored suits and had tall and slender figures. Still, Xiao exuded a dangerous aura from inside out. The old man was very happy as well, and prepared a sumptuous dinner to welcome his grandson back home. That night, the old man ignored Mu Qiqi's existence and focused on enjoying family time with his grandson. Of course, the fact that he did not bother Mu Qiqi was already the greatest gift to her. But Mu Qiqi did not know that it was the beginning of the old man's change in attitude towards her. After dinner, Mama Xing winked at Xiao, and the two of them went to the Xing family's golf course. Eighth brother, you called your second brother back and want to recommend him to be the vice president. Do you have other plans? No one knows a son better than a mother. Xiao smiled at Mama Xing. Mom, did you know that the old man had been meeting some mysterious people behind the Xing family's back recently? What does he mean? You'll have to ask him about that. Xiao answered meaningfully. I have to leave a path of retreat for you and Qi. Don't say anything in the Xing family, Her doesn't know about it either. You're keeping it from Xiaoqi. Chapter 359. Then what do you need me to do? Xing Xiao turned to look at his mother. You don't have to do anything. Just be like before. But Mom, you have to make a choice. Stay with the Xing family or leave. Mama Xing took a deep breath and nodded. I'll think about it. Mu Qiqi could not help frowning when she saw them return from the golf course. Are you whispering to Mom? What? Are you jealous? Xing Xiao asked in return. Is there anything I can't know? Although Mu Qiqi knew that Xing Xiao had many secrets in his heart, it was the first time he avoided her like that. The little one is getting harder to manage. She's getting more scheming too. I'll tell you in the future, but I have to keep it a secret for now. Xing Xiao said, hugging her and bidding farewell to the rest of the Xing family before leaving with Mu Qiqi. Since Xing Xiao had explained it, Mu Qiqi did not have to mind. All she wanted was an attitude from him. On the other hand, the old man finally had a good impression of Xing Xiao because he was willing to help his brother. That was because he never imagined that Xing Xiao would have the idea of independence, and believed that the crown prince would take over Huang Yao no matter what. But he simply did not know that Huang Yao held no weight in Xing Xiao's heart. 2 days later, the young man named Su Che reported to Jing Ting. Mu Qiqi asked Xing Xiao in confusion when she saw how young and strong he was. Don't I have a bodyguard? This is my new assistant. Xing Xiao told Mu Qiqi. Chief Xing, young madam. Su Che bowed to them like a soldier. How old is this kid? You've been hired as an assistant. Mu Qiqi could not be blamed for being puzzled. Su Che was born with a baby face and was very popular in the army because of his fair and tender face. Su Che, tell your young madam how old you are. Xing Xiao could not help sneering. I'm 23. Su Che quickly answered. Damn, I thought you were only 18. Without realizing it, Mu Qiqi gave Su Che a thumbs up. You guys talk. I'm going upstairs to freshen up. Even then, Mu Qiqi did not find it strange. After all, Jing Yun often came to Jing Ting, but she did not know that the difference between Su Che and Jing Yun was that Su Che would never appear in Huang Yao, because Su Che was on Xing Xiao and Shen Jianchuan's side. Moreover, he would only help Xing Xiao with matters on that side. Su Che, although you're my assistant, Xiaoqi comes first in everything. As long as it involves her, you have to put her first. Secondly, you don't have to answer Xiaoqi's questions now. I will tell her in the future. I understand, Chief Xing. Xing Xiao trusted a soldier's strict style. After all, he had learned about Su Che's performance in the army. Since that's the case, you should be more careful in the future. In public, try to pretend that you don't know me. This was naturally a piece of cake for a soldier. Xing Xiao was very satisfied with Su Che. After all, he was someone his father-in-law had selected. Of course, he was better than those good-for-nothings outside. Meanwhile, at the Su residence, Su Yihong had assigned Jing Yun to the Su family's purchasing department. According to him, he wanted Jing Yun to quickly familiarize himself with what the Su family did for a living and how they got their stuff. He wouldn't let Jing Yun go to the sales department or the Su family's R&D department, leaving Jing Yun hanging in suspense. Moreover, the people in the purchasing department were not aware of Jing Yun's identity, and were very curious about this employee who had been dropped in out of nowhere. Seeing that Su Yihong had arranged for Jing Yun, Mr. and Mrs. Su asked him while Jing Yun was not home, "What are you thinking?" "Mom, I want third brother to try out every department. That way, you would be able to see if he's capable, and it would be the fastest way for him to familiarize himself with Su Holdings. There are many ways to familiarize himself with Su Holdings, and we have enough specialists. Moreover, he had been with the Crown Prince of Huang Yao for so long. Why are you still doubting his ability?" "Mom, trust me. I can take care of my brother." Mama Su was about to say something else, but Papa Su stopped her. "Yihong is right. Let Feng try." The truth was that he did not want Su Yihong to think that he had neglected his eldest son's feelings after finding Jing Yun. And since Su Yihong had chosen to do so, he was naturally confident that his parents would agree. As for whether Jing Yun would feel wronged, it was none of his business. Jing Yun knew what Su Yihong was thinking. Moreover, Su Yihong had clearly instructed the people in the purchasing department to give him a hard time. Was he trying to test his patience? Did he not know how easy it was for the purchasing department to make mistakes? Xing Minglan, on the other hand, was working at her own company as usual. Still, Jing Yun did not tell her about it or she would never let it go. Still, what kind of people had he not seen after working for Xianxia for so many years? That was why he installed an invisible camera on his computer on the second day he joined the purchasing department. Naturally, he wanted to know who was human and who was a ghost. Still, the purchasing department was unaware that Su Yihong had personally given the order to suppress Jing Yun. They simply listened to the orders from above, and Jing Yun would naturally not blame Su Yihong when the time came. Hence, someone came to test the clarity of the camera just after it was installed. Seizing the opportunity when Jing Yun was not around, he splashed a cup of water on the purchasing list his supervisor had just given him. It was a manuscript, and Jing Yun was supposed to check it against the list on the computer. But now, the manuscript was soaked in water. Jing Yun laughed coldly when he saw it from his phone in the pantry before returning to his post. At the moment, his colleagues looked as if they did not know what was going on. Even so, Jing Yun was not used to their habit, and promptly put the soaked manuscript in front of the culprit. I believe you have a responsibility. Help me restore the information on the manuscript. The man's face dropped in shock. I don't know what you're talking about. Everyone else looked as if they were watching a good show. You don't have to know what I'm talking about, but I remember the look on your face when you knocked over my cup. Jing Yun replied calmly. The man was stunned and blushed in embarrassment. Don't slander me. I never slander anyone, but I'm not one to hold back. Restore my information or I won't be the only one to admire your face. The man promptly lowered his head at that, avoiding the question. Got it. Everyone looked at Jing Yun's face. Was he a pushover? Such a straightforward counterattack. Chapter 360. As a matter of fact, Jing Yun had a habit of making backups, since he would always take photos of things like manuscripts. After working for Xianxia for so long, would he be interested in such petty tricks? It was no different from scratching an itch and not stirring any desire to win. Still, he did not tell that person that he had the information because he wanted that person to know the consequences of provoking him. Everyone in the office fell silent at that. That was clearly a tough nut to crack, and yet someone was so reckless as to run into it. Still, there was more to come. Once Jing Yun's identity was revealed, everyone in the office would probably scram out of fear of retribution. Jing Yun was still Jing Yun. No matter how smart Su Yihong was, he would have to admit defeat against someone trained by Xianxia. Naturally, Jing Yun had his men investigate the matter between Su Yihong and the eldest uncle of the Su family. He believed that his ability was not in the purchasing department anyway. That very night, Jing Yun received a call. That was why he brought Xing Minglan to Jingting. Why are you coming to me now that you're the third young master of the Su family? Xing Xiao frowned in displeasure. Knowing that he was not really disgusted, Xing Minglan retorted, Am I not your fourth sister even if Jing Yun isn't your assistant? What's new? I've sent people to investigate around the eldest uncle of the Su family, and found out about an old incident. Jing Yun told Xing Xiao. He still saw Xing Xiao as his young master and the way they spoke was the same as before. Speak. Xing Xiao hugged Mu Qiqi and leaned lazily on the sofa. Big Uncle once had two lovers outside. One of them was discovered by Big Aunt and she cried and made a scene. After that she died. As for the other one, Big Uncle hid it very well. It is said that the two of them even gave birth to a son. What's the connection? The connection is that the child was born in the same hospital as eldest brothers, and the child was born before eldest brother by a few days. No one in the Su family knows about it. What about the child? Xing Xiao had already figured out the crux of the matter. He died when he was 2 and eldest uncle gave the woman a sum of money. They were even after that and the woman left the country. How could you find out about such a thing? Xing Xiao pointed at Jing Yun. It sounded like he was mocking him, but his actual words were, well done. It took some effort, Jing Yun admitted. What else is there to say? Go and do a DNA test with your brother and your parents. In fact, Jing Yun had already guessed that Su Yihong had a motive for what happened all those years ago. But even so, we didn't find any evidence that he abandoned me. Let's set up a trap. Xing Xiao narrowed his eyes and instructed Jing Yun just like before. Your brother isn't letting you have it easy, is he? It's all right. Jing Yun did not admit it in front of Xing Minglan. Of course, Xing Xiao did not continue. Since things are settled, shouldn't you leave? The little thing and I still need to rest. Mu Qiqi blushed. Xiao, what are you talking about? Xing Minglan covered her mouth and chuckled. I didn't know you were so impatient. Well, we're going back. Jing Yun held Xing Minglan's hand as they left Jing Ting. He was even more certain of his hunch after hearing Xing Zhao's answer. His father and his eldest uncle had fought over the management rights, and the eldest uncle had every reason to switch the child. Even if his father won and gave the rights to Su Yihong, the outcome would be the same. It would still be given to the eldest uncle. Moreover, no one knew that the mistress had a child at the time and his real brother had died. That was the best cover for Su Yihong. I didn't expect the Su family to have so many traps. Xing Minglan sighed on the way back. Still, it's Su Yihong's bad luck to run into you and eighth brother. Anyone else would have fallen into Su Yihong's trap over and over again. Young master's intellect is peerless. Brains are useful, but not everyone can control them. Who else aside from Mu Qiqi could stand eighth brother? Every carrot has its own pit, and every pot lid has its head. A tortoise goes with. Xing Minglan did not really say the word tortoise, but she chuckled. Since we're going to do a DNA test, leave it to me. I'm not restricted at home since you're all at work. Jing Yun shook his head. No. Why? His room would definitely be guarded. Jing Yun said. How could someone like Su Yihong not know that there were surveillance cameras in his office if even he knew about it? I've always wondered why he didn't marry before, but I understand now. He would have a higher chance of being exposed if he had married early, and there would be no way to deal with his wife and children. That's why he might as well not marry and find a stable partner, and only marry and have children when he has real power. That would be perfect. What do you plan to do then? There would be times when he would be careless if they lived together. That would depend on observation. All right then. Xing Minglan gave up on the idea of going to Su Yihong's room. After all, Su Yihong would definitely be prepared when Mama Su went to get the fake's DNA. Meanwhile, over at Jingting, Mu Qiqi was still nestled in Xing Zhao's arms after Jing Yun and Xing Minglan left, sighing. I'm relieved that Jing Yun is no different from before. What do you think he would become? Snobbish, greedy. Mu Qiqi pointed with her fingers as an example. You have many friends, but not many of them are brothers. I don't want you to lose a brother. You're thinking too much. Xing Xiao couldn't help chuckling. Jing Yun would never change. He would never change. But that makes things even more interesting, don't you think? Xing Xiao promptly picked Mu Qiqi up from the sofa at that. Was that the only thing that had become interesting? It had taken him quite a bit of effort to find out who the old man had met during his mysterious trips. The Gu family. After meeting the Gu family, what happened next? Was he already looking for a replacement for Chi'er? No wonder the old man had not given Chi'er a hard time recently. It turned out that he had other plans. Of course, if the old man really dared to do that, he could not be blamed. After all, this was the world of the young. How could the old man's old ways work? When Jing Yun gets the evidence and exposes Su Yihong, I want to join in the fun. Chapter 361. Then the Gu family came to ask when old Xing would settle things between Xing Xiao and Mu Qiqi, and make room for the young lady of the Gu family. After all, she was the young lady of an aristocratic family. It was impossible for her to meddle in someone else's relationship when Xing Xiao still had a fiancé. How could she explain that to Xing Xiao? Old Xing had been racking his brains lately, since Xing Xiao was so smart that nothing could be hidden from him. And it was in that moment that sixth brother, who had been searching for his sister for a long time, actually found her. But now Xing Minghui no longer looked like the daughter of the Xing family. Sixth brother was heartbroken when he saw her and stormed back to Xing Mansion telling Grandpa Xing, "Grandpa, I found seventh sister. But do you know where I found her?" Old Xing's hands froze at the thought of seventh sister and he looked up at him. "Hurry up and tell me." "Grandpa." Old Xing's eyes welled with tears and he promptly knelt before the old man. Seventh sister shouldn't be chased out of the family no matter how wrong she was. "I found her in a nightclub. She's seriously ill and is now in the hospital. She's humiliated and defiled like this and it's crushing my heart." The old man's eyes widened at that. "What's wrong with her?" "It's better if you don't know." Sixth brother couldn't help crying. Either way, there's no way she could marry a man with a clean conscience. The old man did a double take and rose to his feet. Take me to her. There's no need, Grandpa. She doesn't even know you now. Sixth brother knelt in front of Grandpa Xing and grabbed his pants. Grandpa, I really can't take it lying down after seeing seventh sister like that. Muqiqi hurt seventh sister like that. Does she still want to marry into the Xing family? Grandpa, please deal with Muqiqi. Do you think I have the final say in this matter? It's eighth brother. Old Xing snorted. If eighth brother wants to protect Muqiqi, who in the family could touch her? Grandpa, has Muqiqi not brought enough trouble to the Xing family? Do you really have the heart to let her become the mistress of the Xing family? Then us brothers will have a hard time. Grandfather, I really suggest that we break off the engagement with the Xing family. If you don't believe me, have everyone in the Xing family visit seventh sister and see if the Xing family can tolerate her. At sixth brother's words, the old man suddenly had a new plan. Using Xing Minghui's matter as a pretext, he might be able to sever their fiancé nominally. Moreover, the Xin family had no room to refute. As long as the two of them broke off the engagement, things would be much easier. Tomorrow, ask your parents to visit Old Seven. Old Master Xing sighed. Finally, after being troubled for so many days, he found a breakthrough. Try to make the matter as big as possible. I understand. Sixth brother wiped away his tears and rose to his feet. Whether eighth brother really likes Muqiqi or not, the Xing family has no place for her. If eighth brother can't bear it, he should get out of the Xing family. I just want Muqiqi to get out. Given how important eighth brother was to Huang Yao, he did not want to suffer a double loss. That was why he had to find an excuse to have Miss Gu join the Xing family. That way there would be a chance for Xingxiao and Miss Gu to develop a relationship. That was why the old man was prepared to make things difficult for Muqiqi. Late at night at the Su family's home. As the reunion banquet was drawing near, the Su couple were checking the guest list in the living room, while Su Yihong was beside them to see if there were any guests they had missed. Soon Jing Yun led Xing Minglan into the main entrance of the Su family's home. Seeing that everyone else was present, he sat down with Xing Minglan across from her father and brother. Feng, you're back. How's work? Everything's fine, mother. Jing Yun said. After all, after he had punished the troublemaker colleague, the other pretentious scoundrels were much more discreet. At the very least, they would not dare to trouble him openly. You don't know, mother, but the head of the purchasing department told me that third brother is astonishingly capable. Su Yihong smiled at Mama Su even as he sipped his coffee. Good. Mama Su was pleased and kept her head down to check the guest list. Even so, Jing Yun's gaze fell upon Su Yihong's coffee cup. I think I'm going to transfer third brother to another department soon. Third brother, third sister-in-law, dad, mom. I'm going to rest. With that, Su Yihong took his coffee cup to the kitchen. But he did not wash it. He went straight upstairs after he left the kitchen. Jing Yun shot Xing Minglan a look and said, Minglan, could you get me a cup of water? Wait for me. Xing Minglan understood Jing Yun's meaning, and went into the kitchen to hide the coffee cup Su Yihong used just now, replacing it with a similar one. Then she took some hot water and left the kitchen for Jing Yun. Stay with mom and dad for a while. I'm going up. All right. Xing Minglan did not touch the cup because she had covered it with plastic wrap, and carefully took it out when she returned to her room. Soon Jing Yun followed her upstairs as well. His eyes darkened when he saw the cup. But I haven't gotten your father's yet. Otherwise I could have given it out later. What do I need my father's for? Mine will do. Jing Yun told Xing Minglan. But I need an excuse to leave. That's easy. Just say that eighth brother called for us. Jing Yun nodded and washed up as usual. But soon he brought Xing Minglan downstairs. Where are you going? Auntie, eighth brother wants us to go to Jingting. We'll be right back. Xing Minglan quickly explained to Mama Su. Mama Su nodded. Don't be late. Upstairs, Su Yihong watched as the two left, but did not suspect that the coffee cup he used just now had been swapped. He was aware that Jing Yun was a schemer, but did not know that Jing Yun was trained by Xingxiao and he was not just smart on the surface. The two promptly sent the sample to the identification center, and the outcome would be clear once they verified that Jing Yun and Su Yihong were biological brothers. The reunion is in a few days and the results would be out. What do you plan to do then? Xing Minglan asked Jing Yun, although she was actually worried about him. As long as he doesn't bother me during the reunion, I won't embarrass my parents. We'll talk about it in private. Jing Yun replied, looking at Xing Minglan. Moreover, I have to set up a trap to get evidence that he abandoned me. Chapter 362. When the Xing family heard that sixth brother had found seventh sister and that she was in the hospital, they all took some time off to visit her. At first, Grandpa Xing had arranged for the Xing family to put on a show and stand up against Mu Qiqi. But when they saw what happened to seventh sister, they were filled with rage. The young lady of the Xing family was now tormented to the point that she was neither human nor ghost. She was violated in a nightclub by a man and was now seriously ill. There was no need for an act. Third uncle and third aunt of the Xing family were directly kneeling before Grandpa Xing, begging him to stand up for their daughter. Usually the couple did not have the right to care about their child. But this time, with sixth brother's hint, Grandpa Xing would definitely stand up for Xing Minghui. The woman on the sickbed was thin and weak. Moreover, she was not in her right mind. No one could imagine how much she had been through. And with that thought, everyone's hatred for Mu Qiqi deepened. Father, seventh sister has become like this. You have to stand up for us. Grandpa Xing clasped his hands behind his back, his heart pained as well. This concerns the friendship between the Xing and Shen families. I need to arrange it carefully. When seventh sister feels better, I'll talk to old Shen. Once this matter was told to the Shen family, it would be impossible to retrieve the spilt water and there would be no turning back. Father, don't be fooled by Xianxia this time. He certainly would not miss such a good opportunity. However, he only blamed it on Mu Qiqi. He did not remember who chased Xing Minghui out of the house. Was it Mu Qiqi? Since it had happened, all he had to do was deny it. No matter what happened, it would always be someone else's fault. That was how Grandpa Xing always did things. Mama Xing naturally told Xianxia about Xing Minghui being found. Although Mama Xing did not expect that Grandpa Xing would use this matter to get rid of Mu Qiqi. But Xianxia was different. Judging from Grandpa Xing's recent actions, he knew that Xing Minghui being found would be the best excuse for Grandpa Xing to lay his cards on the table with the Shen family. After all, Xing Minghui was seriously injured. Mother, there's going to be a lot of drama at home. What do you mean? Grandfather has taken a liking to the young lady of the Gu family to replace Qi. Now that seventh brother has been exposed, do you think he will miss such a good opportunity and not take advantage of it? Mama Xing was shocked after listening to Xing Zhao's analysis. No wonder. After visiting seventh sister today, your third uncle and third aunt talked excitedly with old master for the whole afternoon. Do you have a plan? Let the old man do what he wants. Xing Zhao said, if he wants to look for old Shen, let him. If he wants to make things clear, let him. Anyway, he doesn't care about what I think. Why should I guard against him? But you're just going to let the old man dissolve your relationship with Xiao Qi? Whether you admit it or not, in my heart Zhi is already my wife. Xing Zhao said seriously. It's just that the price he has to pay for doing this is a little too high. You want to, if he doesn't do anything to Qi, or I won't give up on Huang Yao. But he must have crossed the line. So I can only... I'm sorry. Xing Zhao had already made up his mind. Mother, what's your decision? Your father and I have been together for so many years. Although he is not a man most of the time and can't protect this family, I don't want to give up on him just like that. If you really announce that you are leaving Huang Yao, I will go abroad to look for him, Mama Xing said. Xing Zhao held the phone and said softly, I'm sorry, Mother. Don't say that. I know your temper. Even if Qiqi is not here, you will fight back when you are forced to this extent. Moreover, you have prepared a way out for me. It's just that I have other options. No matter what, just do the ideological work for the Shen family. You can let go of the Xing family. Thank you, Mother. Xiao Qi is still in the dark. You have to make it clear to her. Don't let her misunderstand. Xing Zhao was very clear about that. Now that the matter was pressing, he naturally had to be prepared in advance. After the call, Xing Zhao hung up and told Mu Qiqi, who was writing the autopsy report at home, pack up. We're going to the Shen family. What time? What happened? Mu Qiqi put down her laptop and stood up, looking at Xing Zhao, who was changing his clothes. You will know when the time comes. It was late at night and it was winter. When Huang Yu saw that they had arrived at the Xin family's house, she put a blanket over them. So late. It's freezing. Your father and grandfather are already waiting in the study. Go. Thank you, second aunt. Mu Qiqi tightened her grip on the blanket and followed behind Xiao. She seemed to have sensed something unusual in the atmosphere. Since they had called before, Xin Jianchuan and Grandpa Xin were waiting in the study. When they saw them, they asked, "What's the matter? Why is it so urgent that we have to meet tonight?" Mu Qiqi really wanted to know as well, but from the look in their eyes, it seemed that she had kept many things from them. Xing Minghui was found, but she didn't end up well. The Xing family blamed it on Qi, which is why Grandpa Xin wants to use it as a pretext. Xing Xiao explained to them. That's your family's business. Why are you coming to me? Grandpa Xin snorted. How could he be happy that Xing Xiao could not settle the Xing family after so long? If there are no accidents, Grandpa Xin will send you a visiting card tomorrow. Then he will use Xing Minghui's matter to call off my engagement with Qi. Well, Grandpa Xin was furious. Does he think the Xin family is so easy to bully? Grandpa, don't be angry. If Grandpa Xin wants to have a showdown with you tomorrow, you just have to fall out with him. If that's the case, your marriage with Xiao Qi is over. Grandpa Xing said, pointing at Mu Qiqi. Xing Xiao and Xin Jianchuan looked at each other and smiled. Meanwhile, Xin Jianchuan spoke up. Father, since when is your grandson-in-law someone who suffers losses? If the Xing family refuses to accept Mu Qiqi, you should be magnanimous and accept him as your grandson-in-law. Grandpa Xin was shocked when he heard that. He looked at Xing Xiao in disbelief. You are willing to marry into our family? I'm with Qi anyway. Is there a difference if I marry her or she marries me? Xing Xiao smiled. That's not all. Xin Jianchuan continued. You know that I've established Zhongting Military Industries, right? But you probably don't know who my partner is. Chapter 363. Are you really planning to leave Huang Yao? Could it be that you don't like me as your grandson-in-law, grandfather? Xing Xiao was smiling, looking supremely confident. I'm just afraid that the one in your family would come knocking on our door and make it impossible for me to live in peace. Although you've retired, the Xin family's reputation is still there. Moreover, second uncle's foundation is stabilizing, and the Xing family wouldn't do anything to embarrass the Xin family openly. Xing Xiao said very confidently. Humph. The old man was still fuming. No wonder you would bring Xiao Qi here in the middle of the night. If I didn't like you, brat, I wouldn't even bother with you. I'm doing this to show my attitude in advance, and I hope that you can cooperate with me and finish the show, grandfather. But you have to think this through. When your grandfather sees me tomorrow, he would officially call off your engagement. Xing Xiao turned to look at Mu Qiqi, his gaze doting and firm. She's never been a fiancée in my heart. Mu Qiqi did a double take and heard him continue. She's my one and only wife. Brat. After they finished their discussion in the study, the two of them prepared to stay at the Xin residence for the night. After the two of them left Grandpa Xin's study room, Grandpa Xin said helplessly to Xin Jianchuan, "After all, we have been friends for decades. I really don't understand why I, Xiao Qi, am not good enough for his eighth brother." Father, Xing Xiao is sincere toward Qi, which means he's not willing to let you control her. Secondly, you're retired and Qi is a girl. It's impossible to create a comfortable space and conditions for Xing Xiao to develop in Huang Yao. Moreover, Mu Qiqi wants to be a forensic doctor so much. Do you think old Xing would let Mu Qiqi occupy the position of Xing Zhao's woman? He could definitely find someone who could help Huang Yao. Humph. He has a good plan. He can't blame me for abducting his grandson. That brat is capable and bold. You just have to fulfill their wish. Xin Jianchuan looked at his father and could only smile. Anyway, old Xing could break off the engagement. Did not matter. When the time came, Xing Xiao could directly announce his withdrawal from Huang Yao. Let's see who would lose more. Let's talk about it tomorrow. The old man had been on the battlefield all his life. What had he not seen? Now his granddaughter's engagement was broken off? Even if eighth brother did not vent his anger, he would not be able to swallow it. The Xin family was easy to bully? Moreover, they had been friends for so many years, and yet old Xing was still playing tricks on him. Thinking about it, all these years had really been a waste. Xin Jianchuan kept smiling. Anyway, he was just watching the show. In Mu Qiqi's room in the Xin family, Mu Qiqi was straddling Xianxia and tugging at his clothes. You are hiding a lot of things from me. Xianxia was not annoyed. He just lay on the bed. It was quite comfortable anyway. Didn't I tell you now? If things hadn't come to this, you wouldn't have told me. Mu Qiqi snorted. When did you start a new company with Dad? Just recently, Xianxia replied. Are you planning to leave the Xing family for good? Yes. Xianxia nodded and hooked his arm around Mu Qiqi's neck. Why? Am I not to your taste just because I am not the crown prince of Huangyao? You are going to marry into the Xin family. What else is there to say? Mu Qiqi shook his arm off and got off him. You are not allowed to touch me tonight. Xianxia hugged Mu Qiqi in his arms and whispered into her ear, there is no condom in the first place. I am angry. Be serious. Mu Qiqi snorted. You are not telling me anything. I'm so sad. Little one, you are asking for a mile after being given an inch. Who am I doing this for? That was true. From the moment she saw old Xing interfering with fourth sister's affairs, she knew that she would break off her engagement with Xianxia sooner or later. She had also thought about how she should solve the matter. She really did not think that Xianxia would leave the Xing family completely and start his own family, even intending to marry into the Xin family. There was no telling how big a wave this matter would cause. Little one, there might be news about us breaking off our engagement tomorrow. Let it be. Mu Qiqi replied nonchalantly. Then I would be the one who dumped you. You are asking for a beating. Xianxia held Mu Qiqi down and slapped her butt. Mu Qiqi did not resist. After all, this man was never willing to use his strength and only treated it as a massage. Tomorrow, it was fine if old Xing used Xing Minghui's matter against the Xin family and Mu Qiqi and asked to break off the engagement. After all, he would use the excuse that old Xing had decided his life without his consent to get rid of the burden that was Huangyao. Was he afraid? Never. In fact, he preferred the environment and the unity of the Xin family. Many people would not be able to sleep tonight, would they? Old Xing was worried if there would be any changes in this matter, and if eighth brother would know about it in advance. On the other hand, Mama Xing was worried that something terrible would happen after Xianxia made things clear. But the two involved did not seem to be affected at all and were sleeping soundly. The next morning, sixth brother went to old Xing's study. Grandpa, I thought about it all night last night. I think I should go to old Xin personally. That way I can show my attitude and determination. Take old Master Xin to the hospital directly. Then, let him see your sister's most miserable side. Also, let your parents make a scene in front of him. Only then will you have a good reason to call off the engagement with the Xin family. I understand, sixth brother said. Then what about Xianxia? Don't mind him. When the news spreads, he will come home and settle the score with me. But what is done cannot be undone. He can't do anything about it. Old Xing did not want Xianxia to agree in the first place. He knew that Xianxia would never agree. What if Xianxia reacts violently? He would be in a hurry to explain to Mu Qiqi. Old Xing waved his hand. When the two of them are together, it will not be justifiable and there will be more misunderstandings. Sooner or later they will separate. Don't worry about it. All right, let's do it. Sixth brother simply threw caution to the wind. In for a penny, in for a pound. After all, he could not wait to cut Mu Qiqi into pieces every time he saw seventh sister's face. Now, not letting her into the Xing family was already the lightest punishment he could get. But how could the Xing family know that Xianxia had already planned to retreat? You don't know gratitude after stabilizing Huangyao, do you? Plotting against me. Chapter 364. Sixth brother promptly drove to the Xin's residence after receiving his orders. Meanwhile, Xianxia had already left the Xin's residence with Mu Qiqi. Sixth brother would have a direct confrontation if he saw them. Although old Xin was prepared, he was still very upset when the Xing family really came. Was old Xing actually thinking of returning the granddaughter of the Xin family? It was good that he had brought Xianxia here. Old Xing would also see how Xianxia would use the Xin family's current resources to rise to the top. How dare he belittle the Xin family and look down on them? Their decades of friendship really could not withstand the test. Still, old Xin would not feel guilty for abducting the crown prince of the Xing family. After all, who was Xianxia? His legs were grown on his body, so who could stop him? Sixth brother was completely unaware that it was a trap. He entered the Shen family through Huang Yu and met old Shen at the fish pond without a hitch. Even before he spoke to old Shen, he thought to himself that the old man's power was truly gone. Now he could only stay at home and play with his birds, and his days were so boring. It was precisely because of this thought that they missed a very important thing, which was the mayoral election. Old Shen turned and smirked when he saw sixth brother. Still, he put down his fishing rod and walked up to sixth brother. What's with the wind today? Even the sixth brother of the Sheng family is here. Old Shen, I'm here to invite you to a place. Sixth brother's face showed proper respect. Did your grandfather ask you to invite me? Yes. Sixth brother nodded. Old Shen washed his hands by the sink and walked ahead of sixth brother. Wait for me at the front hall. I want to change. Soon they left together. Still, when he saw that it was not the way to the Sheng family's house, the old man couldn't help asking, "Where are we going?" Don't worry, old Shen. You'll know when we get there. Sixth brother kept him in suspense. Soon they arrived at the hospital. Although Grandpa Shen was still puzzled, he got an answer when he entered Xing Minghui's ward. Isn't this Xing Minghui? Exactly. Old Sixth nodded. Seventh sister is seriously ill now. She's not in her right mind. Please forgive her for not recognizing old Shen. This, and the person who did this to seventh sister is your good granddaughter, Muqiqi. Old Shen's face fell at that. He was about to say something when third uncle and third aunt of the Xing family pushed open the door and entered, grabbing old Shen's arm. Old Shen, my daughter wouldn't have ended up like this if it wasn't for Muqiqi. She's the one who harmed her. Old Shen, you must give us an explanation. Old Shen, I only have one daughter in my family. However, she was tricked by a man by Muqiqi. Now she is seriously ill and delirious. She can only spend the rest of her life in the hospital. Old Shen, please help us. With snot and tears running down their faces, the couple fought to accuse Muqiqi to the old man. No, you should at least tell us what happened, shouldn't you? Back then, seventh sister and your granddaughter, Shenrui, were bewitched and wanted to harm Minglan. It was Muqiqi's idea that made old Shen hate seventh sister and chase her out of the family. I know seventh sister is at fault, but what could a young lady like her go after she was chased out of the family? Our elder regretted it the very next day, but it was already too late. We couldn't find Ol Seven anywhere in the world until 2 days ago, when her brother found her in a nightclub. Third uncle of the Xing family covered his face and sobbed. If Muqiqi didn't come up with such an idea, things might not have turned out this way. Old Shen knew what happened this time. But it was old Xing who gave the order. What did it have to do with Muqiqi? Moreover, seventh sister and Shenrui only had themselves to blame. What was there to sympathize with? He did not even mention that Shenrui was exiled to the cold army to suffer. Old Shen. Both of them held on to old Shen and cried bitterly. Soon old Xing pushed open the door and entered. The two old men looked at each other and old Xing sighed helplessly. Old Shen, let's talk outside. Finally, they were getting down to business. These three were really bad at acting. It was not that he did not sympathize with seventh sister, but he would not simply admit that it had nothing to do with Muqiqi. The two old men were walking in the garden of the hospital. Grandpa Xing was not as agile as Grandpa Shen, so he stopped and said to Grandpa Shen, seventh sister's matter has caused quite a stir in the Xing family. The family has a lot of opinions about Muqiqi, and third brother's family is even threatening to kill themselves. Grandpa Shen, I'm really troubled. Grandpa Shen looked at his old friend in front of him and suddenly felt that he was a stranger. Since when did old Xing start beating around the bush so much? Old Xing, just say it if you have something to say. Perhaps our eighth brother and Muqiqi are not fated. As a grandfather, I can't absolve myself from the blame when our family is in such a mess. That is why I've come to you shamelessly today. What I want to say is that we should forget about the marriage between our families. Muqiqi is smart and obedient. She would definitely find a better home. But there's no telling when seventh sister would leave. She's so sick that she can't face Muqiqi even if I look after her. Grandpa Shen fell silent after hearing this. After a while he asked, feeling rather humiliated, who is more responsible for the matter between seventh sister and Shenrui? You're the one who chased your granddaughter out of the family. Now that something has happened, you're blaming my granddaughter? It's my fault. I shouldn't have listened to Mu Qiqi. Was that an apology? Old Master Shen had finally seen it for himself. I know that you've never acknowledged Mu Qiqi from the start. You only agreed to the engagement because she's still young, and you could turn the tables on her at any time. Old Shen, what are you talking about? Old Xing began to quibble. Our families have been friends for decades. Why do you think that the Shen family no longer has power, Old Xing? Second brother has been elected mayor of Jianchuan just a few days ago. You don't know about that, do you? Old Xing appeared rather shocked, because the matter had not been made public yet. Still, since you've said it and made it clear, the Shen family wouldn't ask for trouble. Our granddaughter hasn't reached the point where she would throw herself at someone else. Since you've already decided that it's Mu Qiqi's fault, let it be. It's our granddaughter who has wronged you. I'll call off the marriage for Mu Qiqi. Chapter 365. Businessmen are so short-sighted. There's a saying since ancient times that the common people should not fight against the rich, and the rich should not fight against the officials. So, when it comes to the Xing family, are you saying that the Shen family is paying for it? I won't do such a thing. Since you've spoken, Old Xing, the marriage between Xianxia and Mu Qiqi is over. The Shen family will tell the world that we're breaking off our engagement with the Xing family, and I'll send someone to Seventh Sister's house to express our sincerity. Old Shen, since you have the intention of shedding all pretense of cordiality with me today, then I shall accept this favor. Old Master Shen raised his eyebrows. He did not hold back when he spoke to Old Master Xing. Let's forget about our past relationships today. Old Xing panicked inwardly when he saw Old Shen's decisiveness. After all, he really didn't know that Mu Qiqi's second uncle was now the mayor of Jianchuan, and that his attention was on the Gu family. Unexpectedly, the Shen family was still the same as before. Moreover, with Xin Lin joining the army and Shen Jianchuan slowly recovering, the Shen family would still enjoy limitless glory in time. Old Shen, you're being too serious. We still hope that Mu Qiqi could visit the Xing family. No need. You Xing family might be shameless, but we are. With that, Old Shen flicked his sleeves and left. That left Old Xing rather annoyed. It was clearly his idea to build connections with the Gu family, and he had always been disdainful of Mu Qiqi's birth. But how could he have known that Mu Qiqi's background would one day rise with the tide? But there was no turning back now that the arrow had been fired. Since this matter had become a foregone conclusion, the friendship with the Shen family could only end here. The only good thing was that he could openly let Miss Gu join the Xing family. But little did he know that his loss had just begun. Still, the truth was that Old Xing didn't feel the joy of being rid of a burden. Instead, there was an emptiness in the depths of his heart. After all, he was now an enemy of the Shen family. Even so, he couldn't come up with any countermeasure if the Shen family tried to suppress the Xing family in secret. Otherwise, did he really think that no one could shake Jianchuan for so many years just because he was a big conglomerate? How could those who wanted to make an example out of the Xing family not be wary of the Shen family behind the Xing family? After a while, Old Xing returned to the ward. Sixth brother quickly went up to him and asked, "Grandpa, is it done?" "It's a success, but don't worry about buts. Mu Qiqi will never appear in the Xing family again. Isn't that a good thing? When are you going to announce the news?" "The Shen family will handle this. You don't have to worry," Old Xing told sixth brother. Although Xing Xiao had told Old Xing about it, Old Xing was still furious when he heard how Old Xing despised Xiao Qi. If it weren't for that brat's foresight and ability to judge the situation, he really wouldn't want to get married to the Xing family. How young was Xiao Qi? Xing Xiao was almost 30, and now that he thought about it, he was at a disadvantage. Of course, Xing Xiao knew very well how strong Grandpa Shen's character was. He would not be in a good mood after this incident. That was why he planned to stay with Mu Qiqi at the Shen family's house for the next 2 days. Moreover, he would return home at once and accompany Old Shen to fish at the fish pond after he was done with his business in Huangyao. "I'm making a call to have someone handle your marriage with Xiao Qi." "I'll handle it myself," Xing Xiao quickly said. "You don't have to worry about it, Grandpa. The Xing family will get it back soon anyway." "Who's your grandpa?" Now that second uncle has become the mayor, those who underestimated the Shen family would once again see the Shen family's ability. "Only fools would offend you now, wouldn't they?" "Cunning," Grandpa Shen commented. "I am happy for you, Grandpa. Although the Xin family's power is rising again, but the number of people is still too small. Second uncle and second aunt are old, so they still need to rely on us, the younger generation, to spread the branches and leaves, right? Let Qira go out and look for someone else. How could I treat her better than a ready-made grandson-in-law like me? You think too highly of yourself. Why aren't you handling the matter between you and Qi? Old Xin was too lazy to be bothered. Of course, he had seen many things clearly now that the Xin family was rising again. That was why keeping a low profile before was the right thing to do. Xianxia smiled and called a reporter he was familiar with. I've got some news for you. Do you want it? What's the big news? The Crown Prince of Huangyao has broken off his engagement with Mu Qiqi, the granddaughter of the Xin family. It's because the elders of the Xing family don't like Mu Qiqi's status. Is the news reliable? If you don't report it, the Xing family would beat you to it. Xianxia said playfully. The reporter promptly asked to hang up at that. I'm going to write my draft. After all, the feud between rich families was always good material for gossip. Of course, with Xianxia letting the news out like that, it was all the Xing family's fault. Looking down on Mu Qiqi's background? In any case, she was the legitimate daughter of the Xin family, the mayor's niece. How could the Xing family look down on that? Were they going to marry the empress? Therefore, before the Xing family could inform the rest of Huangyao, the news had already spread. Lu Qianxian, Su Zipei and Jing Yun all called Mu Qiqi. Mu Qiqi was still busy with the autopsy and could only reply them one by one. The news is real, but my relationship with Xiao isn't affected. There's more exciting things to come, so you don't have to worry. The Xing family is abandoning the little bride just like that? To tell the truth, Mu Qiqi is only 19, while the Crown Prince is 27. Isn't it obvious who's the winner? The Crown Prince likes Mu Qiqi so much, but the elders still control his marriage. The Xing family really doesn't know what's good for them. Let me tell you a secret. The Xin family has just won the election and is flourishing, but the Xing family is actually looking down on them. Whatever the case, the two have broken off their engagement in name. There are plenty of young geniuses and young ladies. They have a chance now. What a pity. I really want to see how the people react. How the people react? What kind of reaction? The news that they revealed themselves. The Xing family would be cursed by the world this time. Of course, none of that worried old Xing. He was more worried that Xianxia would go berserk. Just worried? No way. Now that Xianxia had calmed the Xin family down, wasn't it obvious what he was going to do next? Did the old man think that he would go to the Xing family and cause a scene? He was too lazy to do that. Tonight I'll let the old master worry for a night. Tomorrow. Chapter 366. In the evening, Mu Qiqi returned to the Xin's residence. She could not help rolling her eyes when she saw Xianxia. My phone is exploding from all the calls. You did it. Xianxia pulled her into his arms and whispered into her ear, Isn't it good to stand up for the Xing family? How would I know there would be such a huge reaction? You don't know how many sympathetic gazes I get wherever I go. Xianxia could not help chuckling at that. My cheerer is fine. Why would she need sympathy? Humph. Others don't know. All right. You stink. Go take a shower and have dinner. I've brought the perfume for you. Mu Qiqi nodded and went to the bathroom to wash up. Still, the stench of corpses on her spread from the main entrance to every corner of the Xin's residence. Even old Xin could not help asking what that smell was. Xianxia only explained then. She's just observing corpses. Old Xin nodded and looked at Xianxia. That's too smelly. It's like this every day. I'm used to it. Really? Why must she be a forensic doctor? The old man did not dislike the profession, but the fact that it was a job that women could not bear. She's an assistant in the criminal investigation team now. She's not just observing. Xianxia smiled in agreement. That was something the old man was quite satisfied with. The kid had really accepted everything about Xiaoqi, be it good or bad. Even if it was the stench of corpses, he would enjoy it every day. When do you plan to announce your departure from Huangyao? Tomorrow. He did not do it tonight to keep the Xing family uneasy. And old Xing would definitely know that he was at the Xin's residence tonight, thinking that he was trying to make Mu Qiqi happy. Let's eat. The old man did not say anything else. He did not need to show up anyway. Meanwhile, in the dining room of the Sheng's residence, the Sheng family was puzzled that Xianxia did not come back to trouble the old man. Although old Sheng guessed that Xianxia would definitely try to coax Muqiqi and explain, it was not his style to not show up until now. Let's not wait. Let's eat. Everyone started to move their bowls and chopsticks. At that moment, Mama Sheng said to Grandpa Sheng, "Dad, I've booked a plane ticket to leave Jianchuan tomorrow. Are you going to find boss? It's all thanks to you that I feel that staying in the Sheng family is like hell. You made 8th brother and Muqiqi break off their engagement and worked with 6th brother's family to put on a show and force old Shen to agree. You didn't tell me about it at all. I think you don't need me as your daughter-in-law. So I want to leave." Eldest aunt. 6th brother called out apprehensively. "Until now I only have one thing to say. Xing Minghui deserved what she got. And the one who caused all this was not Muqiqi but the old man in front of you." After that, Mama Sheng got up from the dining table. "Take your time. I won't be accompanying you." Old Sheng did not stop Mama Sheng, because he believed that Mama Sheng could not make a decision on Xing Zhao's matter. Moreover, Miss Gu would be joining the Sheng family soon. With that being the case, it was better to fulfill her wish so that she would not mess things up. "Grandpa, 8th brother isn't back at this hour. Could he have done something unthinkable?" It turned out that 6th brother was still afraid. "Can he ascend to the heavens or dive into the earth? He would know to look for me when he comes back. Just do whatever you need to do." Old Sheng wiped his hands with a napkin and quietly ate his dinner. Soon Mama Sheng left the Sheng family's house with her luggage. She had no attachment to the Sheng family at all. She would rather sleep in a hotel tonight than stay with those ingrates. 2nd brother could not stand it anymore, and only went up to her to carry her luggage. "I'll see you off, eldest aunt." Since 2nd brother was Xing Zhao's chosen successor, she did not reject him. "Huang Yao depends on you from now on." 2nd brother smiled, not understanding Mama Sheng's words. They're still 8th brother. Still, he had given his heart and soul for the Sheng family, but was treated like this. He must be feeling terrible. Terrible? Mama Sheng snorted. There was no telling who would be the one feeling terrible tomorrow. Mama Sheng gave Xianxia a call when they reached the hotel, and Xianxia brought Muqiqi to the hotel and personally sent her to the airport the next morning. "Be careful when I'm not by your side from now on. Mom, you have to visit us often," Muqiqi said, hugging Mama Sheng. "Take care of Muqiqi, 8th brother. Don't let her suffer. The Sheng family is so heartless." Xianxia smiled and pointed at the security checkpoint. "It's almost time. Go. It's not like we won't meet again. Remember not to bully Muqiqi." Remember. Muqiqi was really touched. Although she had never experienced motherly love from Su Ziqing, Mama Sheng treated her like her own daughter, and would spare no effort for her and Xianxia. Soon Mama Sheng's figure disappeared through the security checkpoint. That was when Muqiqi sighed. "I have one less family." Xianxia put his arm around Muqiqi's shoulder and led her out of the airport. "It's Mom's choice. I know. I just feel bad. Alright, I'll send you to the forensics lab. I still have things to do." Xianxia quickly changed the subject with his little one, or she would keep thinking about him. "Are you going to fight the Sheng family?" "Fight? Not really. I'm just spreading some news." With that, Xianxia started his sports car and sent Muqiqi to the forensics lab. Meanwhile, the Sheng family was even more anxious. Logically speaking, they would only feel normal after Xianxia caused a ruckus. Otherwise, it would be the calm before the storm as long as Xianxia did not show up. Hoping for Xianxia to show up. What a shame. Xianxia would never show up. Soon old Xing received a call from the director of Huang Yao. "What's going on? Xianxia hasn't come to work yet." Meanwhile, Xing Zhao's resignation letter was handed to 2nd brother, who was stunned when he read it. Meanwhile, the secretary was asking 2nd brother about the meeting that Xianxia was supposed to be hosting. "Should we keep waiting for the crown prince?" 2nd brother had a complicated look on his face and only said one thing. "No need. He won't show up again." At the same time, a reporter from a financial magazine received the news. Xianxia, the crown prince of Huang Yao, has publicly announced that he is resigning as the CEO of Huang Yao and leaving the company forever. From now on, he would never meddle in Huang Yao's affairs. This is the second time the crown prince has resigned from Huangyao this year. Chapter 367. Even so, the old man was dismissive when he heard the news. Eighth brother was playing that trick again. He had threatened him with ignoring Huangyao the last time. Was he going to play the same trick again? Unfortunately, the old man would not fall for it. That was why old Xing was not concerned at all when news of Xing Zhao's departure from Huangyao spread like wildfire. That was until second brother returned home with Xing Zhao's resignation letter and share transfer letter. As the deputy CEO of Huangyao, do you need me to teach you how to hold your ground in the company when eighth brother is being willful? Sixth brother even sneered. Second brother, you haven't seen eighth brother's tricks, but I've seen it once. He's doing this just to make grandpa compromise. In a few days he'll come back when he's achieved his goal. Second brother, however, was not as optimistic as they were. He directly handed over Xing Zhao's resignation letter and the transfer of his shares. The old man took a look at it and immediately took 2 steps back. This was all handed over by eighth brother? Eighth brother wouldn't show his face at all, and only had his assistant deliver these things. Grandfather, no matter how willful he was in the past, it's clear that he's not joking this time. The old man's expression changed completely. Sixth brother snatched it for a look and was shocked. Eighth brother is serious? Grandfather, did you not think that eighth brother would really be angry after you caused such a ruckus and broke off the engagement with the Shin family on your own? Who in the family doesn't know how scary his anger is? Have you ever thought that eighth brother would really abandon Huangyao? The old man really did not think that way because Huangyao had given Xianxia unparalleled glory and status. That was why he did not believe that Xianxia would give up on the family's power and wealth. No, he did not believe that eighth brother would give it all up even now. Where is eighth brother now? Old Xing asked. We broke off our engagement with the Shin family yesterday, and eighth brother had someone deliver these things today. With Xiao Qin's departure yesterday, it's easy to imagine that the bastard had planned for this day to come. Eighth brother is probably at the Shin family's residence now. Second brother answered. I'll go look for him now. Right now, the Shin family is not a place that just anyone can enter. Second brother reminded old Xing. Grandfather, you should know that second uncle of the Shin family has been elected mayor of Jianchuan, right? The old man took a deep breath and tried to suppress the anger in his heart. Then find eighth brother for me. Since he doesn't even want to go to Huangyao now, he naturally doesn't want to see you. The more important thing now is to stabilize Huangyao. Grandfather, I'm afraid you'll have to do it yourself this time. Didn't eighth brother just get rid of Mu Chichi? Is there a need for such a big reaction? Second brother glared at sixth brother at that. You really should be grateful to eighth brother for having such a good life now. When he's gone, you'll know how your life would change dramatically. That's right, sixth brother. You should be grateful to eighth brother. Sixth brother was unconcerned. After all, would Huangyao crumble just because Xianxia was gone after so many years of standing? Naturally, second brother could not be bothered to waste words with him, and promptly followed the old man, heading to Huangyao to appease the shareholders. At first, old Xing had wanted to hide the fact that Xianxia had handed in his resignation letter and transferred his shares. However, Xianxia had already revealed the details to the reporters, which was why the old man could not hide the fact that Xianxia was leaving Huangyao at all. Huangyao was in a state of turmoil all at once, just as rumors spread everywhere. At the end of the day, it was all because the old man had taken the liberty to call off the engagement with the Shin family, which was why Xianxia had such a drastic reaction. No, it might have seemed urgent and fierce to outsiders, but he had been planning it for some time. Otherwise, he would not have been able to provide whatever the old man needed. It looks like the crown prince is really going to leave the Xing family. He can't even protect his own woman. Perhaps Xianxia thinks that being the crown prince is useless, and simply doesn't want it anymore. I don't have to say it, but is the head of the Xing family blind? It's already very unwise to call off the engagement with the Shin family at this juncture. Why would he underestimate the crown prince's influence on Huangyao? The outside world was very clear about the matter. Xing Zhao's actions were clearly provoking the old man. Huangyao's board of directors called for an emergency meeting, but old Xing could only keep the shareholders at bay for now, even promising to bring Xianxia back. After that, he wanted to meet Xianxia, but found that the security was much tighter when he arrived at the Shin family's residence. Remembering how he had humiliated old Xing yesterday, old Xing did not want to show up now. Even so, he had to meet Xianxia. In the past, old Xing did not have to go through strict checks when he entered the Shin family, but he was stopped by the guards now. When the guards saw that it was him in the car, he promptly told the old man, "I'm sorry, old Mr. Xing. Mayor Shin has decreed that he will not meet any Xing family member who comes to the Shin's residence. I hope you can understand our hardships and turn back." "Me too. You're first in line. It's fine if you don't want to meet me. Hand over my grandson." "I'm sorry, old Mr. Xing. Young master is free to come and go in the Shin's residence, and no one is giving him a hard time. His legs are his and there's nothing we can do if he doesn't want to come out." Old Xing angrily closed the car window and was forced to return home. He really did not expect Xianxia to be so decisive. "Find out where Muqiqi is right now. I want to meet her, and Xianxia wouldn't lock her up, would he?" Muqiqi was at the forensics lab, but Su Che was with her at the moment. Old Xing arrived at the entrance of the forensics lab, and when Muqiqi finally came out, he ordered his men to capture her. But Su Che knocked out one of his front teeth with a single punch. Su Che blocked Muqiqi's way, and before Muqiqi could see who was in the car, he had Muqiqi get in and drive off right in front of old Xing. That was how useful Su Che was. Trained in the special forces, it was not a problem for him to fight 5 people alone. Hence, the old man had no choice but to return to the Xing family's residence. That was when everyone in the Xing family came to ask if the old man had seen Xianxia. Second brother watched the old man's expression closely and quickly knew the answer. Perhaps. Chapter 368. Second brother, you should take over Huang Yao since 8th brother has made you deputy chief. Grandpa, let me try. Who knows, 8th brother might want to see me. Second brother suggested. I might not be able to bring 8th brother back, but I would know what he wants and if there's still room for redemption. It's the same even if you go. It's the Su family's banquet tomorrow and 8th brother would definitely be there. We'll talk about it then. The old man said tiredly. Second brother was very worried. He followed behind the old man. Grandpa, I'm only doing this to find a better wife for him. What's wrong with that? Second brother couldn't comment on the old man's actions, but he fully understood why Xianxia would retaliate like that. Huang Yao was in a mess right now, and the gossip magazines were not letting the Xing family off the hook either, and kept digging for the latest news. Old Xing finally vented his frustrations at the sight of the Xing family. Despising the granddaughter of the Shin family? During dinner, old Xing sneaked a few glances at Xianxia before saying, "Your grandfather came to look for you. I expected that, and I know you didn't let him in, Grandpa." "How so? Aren't the guards in the Shin family a lot stricter?" Xianxia answered Grandpa Shin naturally. "Have you vented your anger?" Grandpa Shin asked. "Humph." Old Shin snorted. "Her and I are returning to Jingting tonight. We'll be there for Jing Yun's banquet tomorrow, and the old man would know and look for me at the Su family's banquet. Don't forget your promise." "What else can I do now that I've handed everything I own to you?" Xianxia smiled. "I'm not going back since I've decided to leave Huang Yao. Still, now's not the time to announce our new company. When the time is right, I'll let the Xing family know that I can't go back. Aren't you afraid that your grandfather would be heartbroken? He has a better choice." Xianxia said simply. Of course, he knew very well that old Xing would not let him go so easily, but this time he would never step through the gates of the Xing family no matter what. Now that Grandpa Shin had vented his anger, he felt much better. "Do as you youngsters please." With that, Xianxia left the Shin's residence with Muqiqi. Old Xing would never have expected that Xianxia would return to Jingting. Mama Xing had arranged this house for him and paid for it in full. That was why Xianxia could continue living here. "Today I was almost kidnapped by your grandfather at the entrance of the criminal investigation unit." Xianxia carried Muqiqi and led her upstairs to the bedroom. "That's why I let Su Che follow you." "Where did Su Che come from?" "From what I can see, his opponent's teeth are all gone." "A veteran of the special forces." Xianxia looked at her little face and answered. Muqiqi nodded. No wonder. This man had really arranged everything. Xianxia brought Mu Qiqi back to the bedroom and placed her in the bathtub. He filled the bathtub with hot water for her before they lay down together. Mu Qiqi saw him closing his eyes lazily, so she took the initiative to kiss him. How do you plan to deal with the reunion party tomorrow? Your grandfather will definitely go. I'll deal with it as it comes. Xianxia replied with a half-smile. Instead of worrying about what will happen to me tomorrow, you should worry about what will happen to you right now. Xianxia pinched Mu Qiqi's chin and a ferocious kiss followed. Mu Qiqi did not even have time to react before she was pinned beneath him. I haven't tried it in the water yet. Do you want it? Mu Qiqi gasped. He had no control at all. Even now he was asking her if she wanted it. The man was deliberately messing with her. Would you stop if I say I don't want it? Xianxia smiled seductively in that very instant and whispered into Mu Qiqi's ear. I'll answer you. I'll just rub and not go in. Xianxia was having a good time here, but the Sheng family was in a mess right now. Soon the shareholders would not be able to hold their ground, much less the partners of Huang Yao. Second brother's ability was certainly incomparable to sixth brother's, but his foundation was not yet stable, and he could not win the trust of the shareholders and partners. How could I have such an animal? Huang Yao is such a huge business and he just threw it away like that. What else does he want? The CEO of Huang Yao has more shares than anyone else, and yet he's not satisfied? Grandfather, you know very well what he wants. Second brother told the old man. That's impossible. It was not easy for him to get rid of Mu Qiqi, and he would not slap himself in the face and get Mu Qiqi back. Second brother, you have to work hard for a while to stabilize Huang Yao. You don't have to worry about what eighth brother did before and just go for it. I'll do my best, grandfather. Even so, there was only one Xianxia in this world, and only those who had seen him with their own eyes would know how miraculous he was. Even if second brother was outstanding, he was merely a manager who was slightly better than the average person among the masses compared to a genius like Xianxia. Eighth brother, are you so sure that I would admit defeat? After all, the old man believed that Xianxia was only trying to fight back from the jaws of death. He had played the same trick last time and naturally could not scare the old man, which was why he was increasing his stakes this time. This time we'll see who can keep their composure. The old man was waiting for Xianxia to understand that he would not compromise this time. Even so, he did not know that all he got was Xianxia announcing the establishment of a new company. Of course, he would bring second brother to the Su family's banquet tomorrow. At the very least, he would have a good talk with that animal before the confrontation. Over the years, Xianxia had been demanding nothing from the Xing family. Regardless of how the Xing family viewed him, he had managed Huang Yao well. Even so, the old man could not tolerate Mu Qiqi. The entire Xing family was under the protection of his ability, but none of them were grateful. How many people actually worked in Huang Yao with such a huge group and such a huge family business? That was the part where second brother understood Xianxia best. All they saw was Xianxia basking in the glory of the crown prince and being respected and feared by all of Jianchuan. However, they did not know how much effort Xianxia had put in behind the scenes, and how much responsibility he had shouldered for the Xing family. Second brother knew very well that whether the old man could meet Xianxia tomorrow. Chapter 369. Still, there was no telling when the old man would wake up from his sweet dreams. On the next day, the Su family's reunion banquet was held in their manor. Meanwhile, Jing Yun had received the results of the DNA test between him and Su Yihong the previous afternoon. Since he did not have Papa Su's DNA sample and they were cousins, he had done a paternity test instead of a paternity test. Just as Xianxia expected, Su Yihong was definitely not the Su couple's son, nor was he Jing Yun's biological brother. Jing Yun's heart was much more at ease now that he had obtained such evidence. Many mysteries had been solved because of it. Still, it would take some time for Su Yihong to personally admit that he had abandoned him at Jianchuan. Today the Su family had a full house of guests. Many who knew the Su family well knew that their third son had gone missing many years ago, and since it was a reunion banquet, it meant that their son had been found. Still, there was no telling what kind of person the third son of the Su family was. The Su couple had come out to greet the guests early on, while Jing Yun waited for Xing Minglan to dress up before leaving the room. The guests were all curious when they saw Jing Yun. Wasn't that the crown prince's assistant? Normal people might not have noticed who Xing Zhao's former assistant was, but there were few among the nobles who did not know. This is my Feng, our long-lost child. Mama Su introduced him to the guests. The guests thought about it and realized that Jin Yun was definitely an orphan. We've really worn out iron shoes in search of him. That child is doing well in the Xing family, but I didn't expect him to be the third son of the Su family. Isn't that so? He really looks like a talent. The guests all began to praise him while Su Yihong was greeting the guests as well. Although he really did not want Jin Yun to appear before them and be acknowledged, his parents were not easy to fool. Moreover, Jin Yun was careful enough, which was why the tricks Su Yihong came up with had not worked on him yet. I really didn't expect that the former assistant of the Xing family would be the third son of the Su family. There's no telling what the Xing family has fallen into this time. First they lost Mu Qiqi, the mayor's niece, and now they've lost Jin Yun, the third young master of the Su family. Oh my, they're really hurting. Even as the guest spoke, old Xing had already led second brother into the Su family's manor. Although Su Minglan's parents were reluctant, he was still Xing Minglan's grandfather and Jin Yun was indebted to him. Old Xing, you're here. Please take a seat. Papa Su quickly greeted him. Congratulations on finding your son. It's all thanks to Elder Xing that we can see our son again. Knowing that Xing Xiao had left Huang Yao, Xing Minglan did not hate the old man that much. Hence she greeted him, Grandpa. Minglan, let's go to the side and talk. Xing Minglan knew that the old man was probably going to ask her about Xing Xiao, but she really did not know anything about Xing Xiao leaving the Xing family. Even so, the grandfather and grandson still walked to a deserted corner. You know what happened to eighth brother, right? I learned about it from the news. Xing Minglan answered honestly. Huang Yao is a pile of loose sand right now. If you could you return to Huang Yao and help Grandpa? Old Xing asked Xing Minglan. You should know how much damage Huang Yao would suffer from eighth brother's departure. If you were a Xing, wouldn't you help Grandpa in times of need? Grandpa doesn't object to you and Jin Yun now. Is that all right? I need to think about it. Think about it. Did Xing Minglan think that the old man was asking her to return because he needed her as his granddaughter? That was not it. The old man was asking her to return because he needed the Su family's backing. Now that Huang Yao was in a precarious situation, he would have an excuse to keep the shareholders in line with his in-laws. Of course, Xing Minglan did not think as deeply as he did. Even so, he could not hide his thoughts from Jin Yun and Xing Xiao. Jin Yun promptly told Xing Minglan, I won't stop you if you want to return. As long as you're happy, it's fine. But you should know that Grandpa's real purpose is to use the Su family's backing to stabilize Huang Yao. Xing Minglan felt a chill down her spine at those words. Why was it that she, as a grandfather, was always scheming against her family? Soon Xing Xiao led Mu Qiqi into the banquet hall. The crown prince of Huang Yao. All the guests' eyes were on the man in Mu Qiqi. No, he was no longer the crown prince of Huang Yao. Even so, his regal demeanor was still wholeheartedly convincing. It was the first time the Su couple had seen him in all his glory, and they soon had to admit that he was a legend. Chief Su, Madam Su. Xing Xiao greeted them politely. Oh, young Master Xing is truly extraordinary. It's Feng'er's fortune that you could groom him. Mama Su quickly praised him. That's right. You flatter me, Madam Su. Xing Zhao's eyes found old Xing beside them, but he ignored him. The guests were curious as well. What was going to happen between Xing Xiao and the old man? Young Master Xing, please forgive us for our lack of hospitality since there are too many guests today. Please help yourself. Xing Xiao nodded and was about to greet Jing Yun with Mu Qiqi, but old Xing walked up to Xing Xiao and said, Come with me. Old Xing walked ahead, assuming that Xing Xiao would follow him. However, Xing Xiao simply pretended not to hear him and walked straight to Jing Yun. Have you gotten the test results? Yes, just as you expected. Jing Yun nodded. Then when do you intend to make this matter public? When I get another piece of evidence. Jing Yun answered Xing Xiao calmly. Meanwhile, second brother walked up to Xing Xiao and told him, Eighth brother, you should give grandfather some face in such an occasion. Eighth brother, in such an occasion, you should give grandfather some face. He is waiting to see you in the garden. Xing Xiao leveled second brother a sidelong glance and nodded after a moment. If you want me to drive him crazy, I can meet him You left the Sheng family out of the blue and left such a huge mess. You should give grandfather an explanation, be it public or private. My fiancé is suddenly no longer my fiancé. Who can give me an explanation? Xianxia asked second brother in return, lowering his head to look at Muqiqi. Still, he did not give second brother a hard time, and instead clapped Muqiqi on the back of her hand. Talk to fourth sister. I'll be right back. Will he be fine? Chapter 370. Muqiqi walked towards Xing Minglan. The two sisters shared a look, but Xing Minglan was still worried. Why don't you go with him? I really don't know how eighth brother's temper would piss grandpa off. Fourth sister, you know how much the old man hates me. It would be weird if he didn't faint from anger if I really went with Xiao. Muqiqi shrugged. Xing Minglan chuckled at that. It's true. Grandpa would probably skin you alive now that eighth brother is leaving the Xing family. Actually, you don't have to worry. The old man would never let anything happen to him before he achieves his goal. Do you blame him, Qiqi? It doesn't matter. He has his own position. Muqiqi did not have the mood to remember someone who hated her every moment. Wasn't that just making things difficult for herself? Muqiqi looked around at the guests, her gaze eventually landing on Su Yihong. I think all of you should focus on that man today. After all, Muqiqi did not believe that Su Yihong would let go of any chance to deal with Jing Yun in such an occasion. Of course, the evidence in Jing Yun's hands would be exposed as soon as he moved. When that happens, wouldn't it be clear who was the one who lost more than he gained? Meanwhile, Xianxia had gone to the Su family's garden, and found the old man leaning on his walking stick under the shade of a tree. His benevolent countenance would have drawn people to him, but who would have thought that an old man with such a face would have such a stubborn mind? Xianxia slowly walked up behind the old man and asked, "What do you have to say? Say it." The old man turned in a hurry to glare at Xianxia, his walking stick almost hitting Xianxia. "You're abandoning Huang Yao for a woman? Just say what you want, eighth brother. Why do you have to cause such a ruckus every time before you're happy? Are you threatening me? Huang Yao is yours when I'm old. You're ruining your own career." After Xianxia heard that, he approached the tree trunk and leaned against it. He smiled. "These things again. Can't you feel a little fresh? If you don't pretend to give up on Huang Yao, you don't have to listen to me now. Surely you don't think that I was joking with you when I left Huang Yao, do you?" Xing Zhao's gaze suddenly turned sharp as he stared at old Xing seriously. "Don't tell me you're not forcing me to submit?" Grandpa Xing sneered. "You just want me to acknowledge Muqiqi. You just want me to admit defeat before you feel happy." "Grandpa." It was rare for Xianxia to speak in such a serious tone. "I don't want to force you to be with Qi, I can easily achieve that if I leave the Xing family. Why would I go through so much trouble to torture myself? Stop acting. Can you give up on the Xing family's wealth and status? My wealth and status were never given by the Xing family. You have to understand why the world calls me the crown prince. It's not because of the Xing family but because I've never lost to anyone," Xianxia said confidently. "That is why I could rely on my own abilities to create another Huang Yao even if I'm not with the Xing family. So why should I listen to your control?" Old Xing was speechless. Which part of Huang Yao or the Xing family is worth my nostalgia for? If you think so highly of the young lady of the Gu family, why don't you marry her as a concubine? Wouldn't that be perfect? You know, old Xing's eyes widened at Xianxia. "Do you think your every move has any privacy from me?" Xianxia said, straightening. "You can keep controlling the Xing family and meddle with your children, but that doesn't include me. I'll say it one last time. Please pretend that I'm dead from now on." With that, Xianxia moved to leave, but the old man held him back. "The Xing family has raised you. What right do you have to choose? Whether it's Huang Yao or the Xing family, it's all your responsibility. You can't escape it. Don't you want Muqiqi? Fine. After you marry the young lady of the Gu family and make Muqiqi your secret lover, I can turn a blind eye. Take back what you said just now. I still have some respect for you." Xing Zhao's voice turned cold. "Don't forget that Huang Yao wouldn't be where it is today if it wasn't for me. I can agree to anything you want aside from being with Muqiqi. Even 10 Huang Yaos wouldn't compare to one Muqiqi." With that, Xianxia left under the shade of the tree, leaving old Xing to sulk under the tree. Second brother walked up to the old man and asked, "How is it, Grandpa?" "That bastard. He insisted that I accept Mu Qiqi." After all, he had always believed that the main problem between him and Xianxia was Mu Qiqi. "Then come, let's go back." The old man refused to admit defeat. "Talk to Huang Yao's partners and cut all ties with eighth brother. I'd like to see who would be his friend without Huang Yao's protection." Even so, second brother knew very well that Xianxia wouldn't be Xianxia if he was afraid of such things. "Grandpa, don't let your anger ruin your health. I really owe him in my past life." Xianxia returned to the banquet hall and Mu Qiqi turned to look at her man. Xing Minglan approached him worriedly. "Have you talked to Grandpa?" Xianxia lowered his head and took a glass of champagne from a waiter's tray before smiling. "He still doesn't seem to accept the fact that I've left Huang Yao. Are you really not going back?" Xianxia did not answer Xing Minglan, and instead put his arm over Mu Qiqi's shoulder. "But what are you going to do after you leave the Xing family? You have to protect her, don't you?" Perhaps even the old man believed that he would achieve nothing without someone to rely on after leaving Huang Yao. That was why the old man insisted that he would never give up on everything Huang Yao had at his fingertips. He was just throwing a tantrum. But that was fine. He would let the old man think that way because he would know that there was no going back when Zhongting went public. "Let's just pretend that I have nothing now." Looking around, every guest present was praising Xing Xiao and Jing Yun for being young and promising, which naturally left Su Yihong with a deadly sense of danger. Chapter 371. Halfway through the reunion banquet, the eldest uncle of the Su family finally arrived. Though he and Papa Su had always been at odds like fire and water, he would still care about the Su family's reputation on the surface and maintain his brotherly bond with Papa Su. "That must be my nephew. What a talent." The eldest uncle of the Su family was on the tall side and a little plump, which was why he appeared more burly than Papa Su. His hands were naturally strong too, and it hurt when they landed on Jing Yun's body. "Big brother, you've come all the way here to congratulate me. I thank you as your younger brother." Papa Su quickly greeted him. "What are you talking about? Everyone knows that for this child, sister-in-law has been crying all day long. Now that the child is back as the big brother, I can rest assured." Jing Yun did not entertain them, and instead turned his eyes to Su Yihong and his eldest uncle. This father and son pair's wishful thinking was truly resounding. "Don't mind your eldest uncle. Just be polite." Mama Su whispered into Jing Yun's ear. "Mother, can you help me announce my marriage to Minglan?" Jing Yun did not care about his eldest uncle and father since he would deal with them sooner or later. Right now, all he wanted was to give Minglan a title. Mama Su smiled at that. "Got it." Hence, Mama Su went to the podium and announced Jing Yun and Minglan's marriage in front of everyone. Naturally, old Xing was happy to see it. Even if Xing Xiao was not around at Huang Yao, he still had Jing Yun to comfort him a little. "Congratulations to you and Jing Yun, fourth sister," Mu Qiqi quickly said. Mu Qiqi quickly congratulated him. "You don't know how worried Xiao Xiao and I were when this blockhead didn't understand. I think you're the only one who's worried. Eighth brother never asks about such things." Xing Minglan raised a brow. "He only has you in his heart. Whatever the case, you're very happy to be with the person you love, fourth sister." Xing Minglan nodded and turned to Jing Yun. Their gazes locked, leaving the others envious. Meanwhile, the employees of Su Holdings were not just shocked. Their backs were breaking out in cold sweat as well. Because the person they were told to mess with was actually the third young master of the Su family. No wonder he didn't look like a normal office worker from the way he talked and dressed. He was actually the young master of Su Holdings. The incident soon spread in the company's group chat, and those who had made fun of Jing Yun before were now on tenterhooks. "If I had known that you were the young master of the Su clan, I wouldn't have dared to offend you even if I had to die. This third young master is way too low profile. If he had revealed his identity earlier, there wouldn't have been so many misunderstandings. Looks like this third young master is patrolling incognito. Who told you guys to bully the weak and suck up to the strong? Now you've run into a tough one." In fact, Jing Yun wouldn't bother with them since he had already taught them a good lesson. As long as it didn't happen again in the future, he couldn't be bothered. After lunch, the guests entered the dance floor to entertain themselves while Su Yihong chatted with his real father in the garden. Eldest uncle, I've been with the Su family for so many years, but in the end they look more like a family. Eldest uncle Su snorted. You've been working hard for the Su family over the years, never slacking. And yet, that beggar came back and stole all your limelight. Well, I don't really care. Su Yihong muttered. Still, that younger brother of mine isn't easy to deal with. If we don't act soon, it'll be too late when he remembers. What do you plan to do? I'll bring third brother to the factory in 2 days. It'll be up to you when the time comes. The Su family had so many machines and many of them were very dangerous. It wasn't like they couldn't deal with Jingyun if they tampered with the machines. If anything happened, it would have nothing to do with them and Jingyun could only blame his bad luck. Don't worry, it's just a small matter. Eldest Uncle Su replied. If your wings weren't full, I would have snapped my brother's slender neck. There's no hurry. Right now, Xianxia was standing on high ground, watching as Su Yihong and the eldest uncle of the Su family stood together. His lips curled into a smile. Tell Jingyun to be careful over the next few days. Su Yihong has a plan. I must say that bloodline is such a wonderful thing. Those two really look alike. Mu Qiqi couldn't help being moved. If you think it's amazing, you should give birth to one and see how it works. I'm only 19. Mu Qiqi emphasized her age. 20 is enough. Mu Qiqi punched him in the chest, but Xianxia caught her little fist. Your grandfather is looking forward to us having a child soon. We're not even engaged, let alone married. Why would I give birth to your child? Cheer, you've changed. You didn't treat me like this before. Mu Qiqi chuckled and stopped teasing him. When will the news of Zhongting's establishment be announced? When the time is right. Xianxia said mysteriously. Now that he had resigned from Huangyao, everyone in Jianchuan would probably look at him in a different light. After all, he had nothing now and he couldn't be content with watching the show so quickly. He had to let old Xing think that he had a few more days. In the distance, Jingyun had noticed Su Yihong and the eldest uncle of the Su family sitting together from where he was beside his parents, and simply told Mama Su, eldest brother and eldest uncle are getting along. Your big brother can chat with any kind of person. It seemed that his mother trusted Su Yihong 100%, and Su Yihong's painstaking efforts over the years in the Su family were not in vain. What are you talking about? You're so happy. Su Yihong rose from his chair when he saw Jingyun nearby and walked up to mother and son. I'm saying that you're making good connections. Mama Su replied. Mother, I want to bring third brother to our factory in 2 days. What do you think? Ultimately, the Su family was a corporation that developed and manufactured medical equipment, and Jingyun must have control over the production line. That's fine. You'll be in charge of it. Thank you, brother. Jingyun said very politely. We're all brothers and the Su family would be yours sooner or later. That's why you don't have to be so courteous with me. What did Xianxia just say? Su Yihong couldn't hold back. After all, the longer Jingyun stayed with the Su family, the deeper his bond with the Su couple. Chapter 372. Having followed Xianxia for years, Jingyun could naturally tell from Su Yihong's words that he was scheming. What production line? It was nothing more than an excuse to cripple his body. Otherwise, Jingyun could not imagine what Su Yihong could do to him in such a place. If that was the case and Su Yihong was harboring evil intentions, he would definitely not hold back and settle the score with Su Yihong once and for all. As for where Su Yihong would set the trap, he would have to improvise when the time comes. The reunion banquet was lively and naturally went smoothly. Since old Xing had become in-laws with the Su family, he naturally planned to return home after the banquet. There was no lack of guests who praised Xianxia in front of him, but he retorted with one line, It's a pity that the kid is mischievous and insists on going out to make a name for himself. He doesn't even want to be the CEO of Huangyao, and as his elder, wouldn't I be letting him down if I don't fulfill his wish? In other words, old Xing was implying that Xianxia had nothing to do with Huangyao. He's still a kid who wouldn't make mistakes. That's true. So he has left the Xing family. You don't have to hold back if you see him in the future. Teach him a lesson for me. Did that mean that the Xing family was really not acknowledging the crown prince? I'll do as you say, old Xing. Xing Xiao had always been able to do whatever he wanted in Jianchuan, and no one had ever dared to touch him. Now that he was really leaving Huangyao, did that mean that the heir of Huangyao would be changed? It seemed that old Xing was sad about his grandson. Instead of a great empire, he insisted on a woman. The old man probably thought that his grandson was a good-for-nothing, which was why he did not intend to keep supporting him. And it would be terrible if news of that got out. As the saying goes, the river flows east for 30 years, then west for 30 years. Was the crown prince going to be a nobody trampled by everyone? That night, it was not just the Su family's manor that was bustling. Something was happening at the Lu family as well. Lin Mu, and was really acting as Lu Qianqian's bodyguard at the moment, staying by her side no matter what she did. It was a great humiliation for old Lin. The grandson of the Lin family actually went to work for a second-hand good. He really had no sense of shame. Thinking of this, the old man really couldn't take it anymore. He had to think of a way to teach this unfilial son a lesson and scare that broken shoe. Meanwhile, Lu Qianqian had just finished her class and was walking out of her tutor's private classroom with Lin Mu. But just as they were about to drive away, a black car crashed into them. Lin Mu, and protected Lu Qianqian. After confirming that the accident was not serious, he unbuckled his seatbelt and got out of the car. He wanted to reason with the other party. Unexpectedly, four burly men came down and grabbed Lin Mu. Then they said fiercely, "Are you tired of living? How dare you block our path?" Lin Mu, and turned to Lu Qianqian and said, "Call the police." However, the other party did not give Lin Mu a chance to react at all. Their fists directly smashed over. It was not one person but 4 people. Lu Qianqian was frightened by the scene in front of her. She quickly called the police but was threatened by the other party. "If you dare to call the police, I will kill him." Lu Qianqian quickly comforted them. "What do you want?" "I need money. I'll give it to you. Don't hurt him." "Do you think we lack that?" In the end, Lin Mu was a police academy student and knew self-defense. But there were 4 of them. If he moved, they would quickly and viciously press him to the ground. Their skills clearly showed that they were not gangsters from the outside. "Then what do you want?" "We know this young master is a young master of the Lin family. But he dumped my sister. So we're using this as a pretext to beat him up. What can he do? Even the Lin family doesn't recognize him now." "I've never been in love. How could I dump your sister?" Lin Mu wiped the blood from his nose and smiled. "I'm afraid it's that old man from the Lin family who asked you to come." The others were stunned. They did not expect Lin Mu to expose them. "I can't fight back even if you beat me up today. I can't beat you anyway. But it's the first time I've heard of a grandfather getting someone to beat his grandson up. It's really touching. Us beating you up has nothing to do with the Lin family. The trouble is so obvious. Why do you hide it? He's my grandfather. I won't fight back if he really beats me up." The others could not keep up the perfunctory act. They let go of Lin Muan's collar. "Cut the crap. I'll beat you up again the next time I see you." With that, they got up and left. It was only then that Lu Qianqian came forward, crying. She wanted to help Lin Muan up, but he pushed her away. "There's blood. It's dirty." "What's dirty?" "I don't mind." Lu Qianqian helped him up and put him in the car. "Are you okay? Do we need to go to the hospital?" "I'm not good enough as a bodyguard. I can't protect you at all when you're in danger." Lin Muan's face was swollen. He clutched his chest and panted with difficulty. "Are you sure it's your grandfather who got someone to do it?" "He just wants to teach me a lesson," Lin Muan replied. "He's a little agitated when he sees us together." "I understand. How can there be such a grandfather?" Lu Qianqian really could not understand. "He just wants to scare you so that you don't have anything to do with me." Lin Mu wiped away the blood on his face helplessly. "You have to drive the car. Even if he wants to scare me, he shouldn't really hit you." Lu Qianqian really could not understand how a grandfather could be so cruel to his own grandson. He's at his wit's end. Lin Muan's gaze darkened. He hoped that he did not further agitate his grandfather. This is just the beginning. He will definitely think of a way to make me beg him so that I will willingly return to the Lin family. As long as you want to find a place to hide, my house will always be open for you. Aren't you afraid of my grandfather's revenge? Lin Mu, and narrowed his eyes and asked Lu Xianxian. The Lu family is not glass. It will shatter with one touch. Moreover, you are all alone now. If you lose me, you can go begging on the streets. With that, Lu Xianxian pressed a tissue on Lin Mu's nose. Wipe it. I'll send you to the hospital for a checkup. There's really no need. Listen to you or listen to me. Lu Xianxian crossed her arms and asked Lin Mu dangerously. I think your grandfather must be a pervert in his past life. How could he do such a thing? Let him vent his anger. He's old. Lin Mu, and was very open-minded. Chapter 373. But that doesn't stop me from being your bodyguard. Lu Xianxian pressed on his wound and Lin Mu and inhaled sharply. You're about to fall apart and you're still boasting shamelessly. Lu Xianxian glared at him and drove the damaged car to the hospital. After a checkup, the doctor insisted that Lin Mu and be hospitalized. Young man, don't fight just because you have a good recovery. His grandfather did it. Lu Xianxian told the doctor angrily. It's the first time you've seen a grandfather like that, isn't it? Beside them, Lin Muan laughed, clutching his chest. Even if he was beaten up by old Lin, he had a happy little pepper with him. Watching her scold someone was the best medicine for him. You're still laughing? You've broken a bone. Lu Xianxian was fuming. Your grandfather could really do it. You must have been picked up from the streets. Lin Mu, and really did not want to listen to Lu Xianxian's nagging. Hence, he hugged her in his arms and comforted her in front of the doctor. Whether my grandfather did it or not, little Pepper, you have to believe me. I'll protect you even if I have to risk my life. Who needs your protection? Lu Xianxian pushed Lin Mu and away forcefully, only to touch his wound. Lin Mu and quickly shrunk into a ball, sweating. Lu Xianxian did not think of anything else. As a good friend, she certainly would not leave Lin Mu alone. Even so, she did not know how serious Lin Mu was with his vow today. At the Xing residence, old Xing had the Xing family cut all ties with Huang Yao because he did not want Xianxia to have him in his hands this time. Even so, he had to answer to the Gu family after Xianxia left Huang Yao. They had agreed to settle things with Mu Qiqi. But this time the old man did not only settle things with Mu Qiqi but also Xianxia. Xianxia promptly announced that he was leaving Huang Yao. On the next day, old Xing invited the Gu family to his house, and Mama Gu stayed in the old man's study for 2 whole hours. Old Mr. Xing, the Gu family is aware of what happened to your family. Why don't we just forget about the Crown Prince and Xiling? I think the Crown Prince really likes the young lady of the Xin family. Hearing this, Grandpa Gu waved his hand and said to the Gu family, Madam Gu, please don't worry. Everything will go according to plan. I know my grandson. He's just trying to threaten me now. When he knows that threats don't work, he'll listen to me. But, Mrs. Gu, what do you think of this? You saw my second grandson when you came in just now. He's not married yet. We'll stick to the original plan and let Miss Gu marry into the Xing family. She can choose whichever she likes. What do you think? Madame Gu recalled how second brother Xing walked past her just now. He was indeed a handsome man. So she nodded. If that's the case, I'll agree to it. After all, the Gu family was aware that the second young master of the Xing family held great power in Huang Yao. They could accept either the crown prince or the second young master. Then we have a deal. After the Gu family left, sixth brother asked the old man, Grandpa, what's going on? It has nothing to do with you. Just mind your own business. Grandpa Xing told sixth brother. Everything was ready. There was just no telling when that unfilial son of his would stop being willful. Sixth brother hung his head and turned to leave, but the old man suddenly called out to him. Wait. Grandpa. Seal eighth brother's room as well. And spread the word that eighth brother is never coming back to the Xing family now that he's out. Are you serious, Grandpa? Sixth brother was puzzled. Since eighth brother's acting is so real, I certainly can't show weakness. The old man snorted coldly. He would act as if he no longer cared for Xianxia so that he would know that his threats were useless. Even if the outside world knew that Xianxia and Huang Yao were at odds, so what? With the Su family moving to Jianchuan and the Xin family regaining their vigor, a military enterprise began its rise. That night it was raining and snowing. Both Xianxia and Jianchuan visited the office of Zhongting Industries, where they would handle official business in the future. Su Che was pushing Jianchuan's wheelchair, while Xiao put his arm around Mu Qiqi's shoulder. "I like this place," Mu Qiqi told both Xiao and Jianchuan after walking one round. "It's a great view, unlike Huangyao with diamonds everywhere. So uncomfortable. Do you dislike Huangyao or do you dislike the people there?" Xiao asked, pinching Mu Qiqi's chin. "Since you've cut ties with the Xing family, when are you going to announce your identity?" Jianchuan asked. "At first I wanted to teach the old man a lesson and let him know my resolve. But now I think that it's better to keep my identity a secret so that the outside world would think that I've fallen out with Huangyao. Then the old man would think that I'm nothing without Huangyao. That way I could have more peace in the early days of Zhongting, which is good for my work." Jianchuan nodded at that. "You're the lazing son-in-law of the Shin family. You just have to hide in the Shin family." "That's what I think too," Xiao replied. "But can you take it if the outside world laughs at you for being a coward? Those people. I always have a way to trouble them behind their backs." Xiao was nonchalant. "Since that's what you plan to do, just do it. The Shin family could even help you with Huangyao. Are you going to suffer for a while, Xiu? Isn't that right? You're in for it with a husband who's been chased out of the family." Jianchuan really did not want to see the two flirting, and so had Su Che push him to his office. He really wanted to sit there like a normal person, but he clearly could not do that now. As for Xiao, he was now talking about working with Zhongting. His partners had all changed. As a military enterprise that produced military supplies for the army, the people he would be dealing with now were people with real power and influence, but they were never ostentatious. This was a completely new challenge for him. When he got home, Mu Qiqi found that Xiao had stepped into a new field, and couldn't help climbing onto his lap to read his research materials. "Now that you've established a new company with Dad, are you going to lean towards politics in the future?" Chapter 374. "You're exaggerating," Mu Qiqi exclaimed, holding his hand. Xiao, I'll be waiting for you to become the new nobleman of Jianchuan." After all, even old Xing would not dare to offend Xiao so easily. It's easy with Grandpa, second uncle and Dad around. Still, why do I suddenly feel like I'm a phoenix man? A live-in son-in-law. You don't have to be picky. Xiao laughed heartily at Mu Qiqi's words, and carried her horizontally towards the bedroom. "What a great business." Mu Qiqi smiled brightly as she wrapped her arms around his neck. Still, when Xiao put her on the bed, his seductive voice reached her ears. "I want to have my first child when you're 20. But I'm not that old yet. Registration abroad and notarization at home when the time comes. Do you have to be in such a hurry?" Mu Qiqi could not help looking at the man on top of her. "Or is the great crown prince afraid that I'll run away?" "Idiot." Xiao scolded softly before kissing her. Back at the Xing family, second brother was put in a difficult position by the board of directors because Xiao was not around. It was fortunate that he was capable enough to stabilize the internal affairs of Huangyao despite Xiao's hasty departure, which certainly made the old man see him in a different light. Still, there was one thing that second brother could not compare to Xiao in that they shared the same ambition. Xiao was very proactive when it came to expanding Huangyao's territory, whereas second brother was much more reclusive. Whatever the case, the old man was very pleased that Huangyao could maintain its current order. Late at night, second brother was still in the old man's study, reporting on his work over the last 2 days, which left the old man thinking a lot. "You've done well, second brother. You haven't disappointed me even though eighth brother has left. I can only do my best, Grandpa." Second brother never imagined that he could shoulder the responsibility of Huangyao in such a short time. "I've already called your third brother to help you. I intend to nurture a new faction so that we wouldn't have to be threatened by eighth brother anymore." The old man certainly had more ideas after witnessing second brother's ability. "I'll work harder, Grandpa. If you can really shoulder the responsibility of Huangyao, then you will be the crown prince of Huangyao." "Grandpa, that's eighth brother's title. Whoever can make Huangyao stronger will be the future heir of Huangyao. Maybe I don't need eighth brother that much." Of course, that was what the old man said, but he might not think so in his heart. If second brother did anything wrong, the old man would immediately remember Xingzhao's good points. The old man was that capricious. Naturally, everyone liked to be praised, and second brother naturally wanted to do better when he was praised by the old man, even surpassing Xingzhao. In 2 days, an old friend of grandpa's will be sending her granddaughter over as a guest. When that happens, you have to entertain her for grandpa. Since your eldest aunt has left the Xing family, your mother is naturally coming back to manage the family. It was as good as lifting second brother's family up, temporarily stabilizing Huang Yao. Don't worry, grandfather. He did not believe that Xingzhao would remain indifferent when the Xing family made such a move. And what waves would Gu Ziling's appearance bring to the Xing family? On the other hand, Jing Yun's image in the eyes of Su Holdings employees had undergone a complete change after the banquet. Those who would always try to pick a fight with him now dared not act presumptuously in front of him. Who would have thought that he was the young master of the Su family? It was even more unfortunate that he was about to marry the young lady of the Xing family. Otherwise, every female employee of Su Holdings would be in an uproar. It had been 3 days since Su Yihong suggested bringing Jing Yun to the factory. Jing Yun knew very well that those 3 days were actually the time Su Yihong had planned everything. That night, when Su Yihong returned to the Su residence and found Jing Yun and the others having dinner, he told Jing Yun, "We're going to the factory tomorrow. I've arranged everything and eldest uncle would accompany us." "Then I'll have to trouble you, eldest brother," Jing Yun said without batting an eyelid, because he had been waiting for this moment for days. "We'll leave tomorrow morning." With that, Su Yihong went upstairs to rest while Mama Su told Jing Yun, "Your brother really cares about you. Feng, promise me that you will always respect your brother." "I know, mother." With that, Jing Yun buried his head in his meal, while Mama Su and Xing Minglan discussed where they should buy wedding supplies. It was only when both of them returned to their bedroom that Xing Minglan asked Jing Yun, "Is it safe to go tomorrow? Do you have a plan?" Jing Yun shook his head. "He would be suspicious if I bring someone with me. But there's no telling where he set up the traps. I'm worried if you go alone." Jing Yun hugged Xing Minglan and stroked her back. "Trust me, Minglan. I'm already immune to such things after all these years of following young master. Trust me." Having no other choice, Xing Minglan nodded. "Then be careful. Tell me immediately if anything happens." "Don't worry." Jing Yun kept stroking Xing Minglan's back, trying to calm her down. If Su Yihong dared to make a move, he would make him pay the price he deserved. The next day, the two brothers went downstairs at the same time and sat down in front of the Su couple for breakfast. "Old Su, sometimes I really feel like I'm dreaming. Finding Feng is my greatest fortune. Mother, third brother and I would stay by your side from now on. It would be even better if my sister could return to the country." "That's right. That girl hasn't even come back to visit her brother." Jing Yun had a second sister, but she was overseas at the moment. Since the Su couple never mentioned her, Jing Yun did not ask about it. Soon, the two brothers left the Su family's main gates and got into the car Su Yihong had prepared. "Feng, your big brother has widened your horizons today." If he did not know beforehand that Su Yihong was up to no good, Jing Yun might have believed that his big brother would be so kind as to bring him to see the core of the Su family. "When you're officially married, I'll transfer you to an important department in Su Holdings. I trust your ability and I'd be much more at ease with you sharing Su Holdings' responsibilities." Jing Yun smiled coolly, showing no openings in front of Su Yihong. All the good show would have to wait and see how it would play out. Chapter 375. Su Yihong gave Jing Yun a simple introduction when they arrived at Su Holdings' production line. Su Holdings dabbles in a wide range of medical fields, most famous for their research and development of high-quality consumables as well as their focus on medical imaging. "Our goal is to produce equipment that could replace imported products and benefit the common people. I have a basic understanding of those." As they spoke, they arrived at the gates of the production base, where the eldest uncle of the Su family was waiting for them. "You're here. Since eldest uncle is more knowledgeable in the field of equipment, I've asked him to give you a basic explanation." "Thank you, eldest uncle," Jing Yun said courteously to the eldest uncle. Both the eldest uncle and Su Yihong looked at each other, both knowing what to do. Then the trio entered the production base. Jing Yun did not know where the traps were, but he had been paying special attention along the way. Under normal circumstances, it would be safe if there were people on the production line, but he would have to be extra careful if there was no one around. These machines are used to create artificial joints. Do you want to take a closer look? Sure. Jing Yun nodded and walked towards the machine with his eldest uncle to see how it worked. Do you want to try how it works? I'll have the workers open one for you to try. Jing Yun nodded. That was when a man wearing sterile clothes entered, intending to bring Jing Yun along to try out the machine. Su Yihong and the Su family's eldest uncle shared a look as they followed behind. Then the power was switched on and the worker told Jing Yun, "Young Master Su, these things are very sharp. You must be careful even if there are protective measures." All right. Jing Yun nodded and strode forward. Just as Jing Yun and the worker were experimenting, eldest Uncle Su suddenly appeared behind Jing Yun and tried to push him. However, Jing Yun had already seen it through the glass of the machine, and so quickly dodged, while eldest Uncle Su's entire body fell towards the open machine after he missed his target. It was fortunate that the worker managed to hold him back, but with a scream, the eldest uncle's big finger was cut off by the gear. "Hurry up and call an ambulance." Su Yihong quickly diverted Jing Yun's attention when he saw that his eldest uncle had failed. "Dang, what's going on?" Before he could say anything, his big brother had already made things difficult for him. "Su Yifeng, is this how you treat me when I'm kind enough to teach you?" The eldest uncle of the Su family retorted. "Eldest uncle, if you want to teach me, just tell me in advance." "I was just shocked by eldest uncle." "Uncle's hand is injured. Go back and explain it to mom and dad." He did not follow the ambulance to the hospital immediately. Instead, he looked at the bloodstains and stared at the staff who was wearing sterile clothes. "You're covering yourself up so tightly not because it's needed here, but because you don't want me to recognize you, right?" The man trembled and stuttered. I don't know anything. I'm only responsible for turning it on." "You don't have to know anything, but I'll remember your name." Jing Yun pointed at the man's badge. "Young Master Su, this matter really has nothing to do with me." "How vicious. If I was really pushed forward, my hands would have been crippled with so many gears." Jing Yun muttered while the man's face was already drenched in sweat. Jing Yun did not make things difficult for him, but he had to keep an eye on him. Now Jing Yun would have to face his uncle who had lost his finger, and a big fight was inevitable. When they arrived at the hospital, the eldest uncle of the Su family was already stitching up his wound, although his severed finger could not be reattached. Later, Mr. and Mrs. Su rushed to the hospital, and were rather worried when they found Jing Yun outside the surgery room. "Are you all right? Are you and your brother all right?" "I'm fine. It's just that eldest uncle's thumb was cut off." Jing Yun replied. "Where's your brother?" "Taking care of the medical fees." Jing Yun replied. "What actually happened?" Papa Su asked. "It's Yifeng's fault. Eldest uncle wanted to teach him how to use the machine, but he suddenly turned around and eldest uncle lost his balance and fell in front of the machine, getting his thumb cut off by the gears." "Eldest brother, you're a medical student after all." Jing Yun suddenly walked up to Su Yihong and turned around. "Look, if you were standing behind me and you didn't move, you wouldn't have lunged forward when I turned around. The only explanation for this is, what is it? Your eldest uncle wanted to push Feng Er." Mama Su immediately understood what Jing Yun meant. "That's right. If your eldest uncle didn't want to push Feng Er, why would he have lunged forward?" "Mom, you didn't see what happened. You wouldn't know. Eldest uncle could have told me earlier if he really wanted to teach me. Why would he suddenly lunge at me without saying anything? What is he trying to do?" "Yifeng, eldest uncle is the one who's hurt. If I don't move aside and eldest uncle succeeds in pushing me down, then both my hands, won't I lose them?" Papa Su finally understood what Jing Yun meant at that. It wasn't just Papa Su, even Su Yihong understood what Jing Yun meant. "Eldest uncle has no grudge against you. Why would he frame you? You're in the wrong here. It's fine if you admit it, and eldest uncle is magnanimous and wouldn't blame you." "No grudge against me? Are you sure, eldest brother?" Jing Yun asked Su Yihong meaningfully. Could this be a misunderstanding, Feng Er? Mama Su was puzzled as well. After all, eldest uncle of the Su family had not done anything to their family after losing the management rights. Moreover, it had been so many years since then and there was no reason for him to frame Jingyun. I'll tell you the truth, Mom. I knew something would happen when I went there today. Jingyun told his parents unhurriedly then. At first I wanted to give eldest brother a chance. I might not have said anything if he didn't do anything to me, but it's clear that someone wants my hands. What are you saying, Yifeng? Papa Su stared at Jingyun in shock. That's right, Feng. What are you saying? Why can't you understand, Mom? It's fine if you don't understand. Eldest brother should understand. Jingyun turned his sharp gaze upon Su Yihong. Su Yihong panicked inwardly but kept his composure. I think you're crazy. I didn't know that you're such a person because we haven't known each other for long. You might know a person for a long time but you don't know his heart. Mom, Dad, I'm your son so you should discipline him. Feng, what exactly did you mean by those words just now? Your eldest brother. Chapter 376. Yifeng, what exactly is going on here? Explain everything clearly. Mama Su was really confused then. How did Su Yihong get involved in this? What was Jingyun trying to hide? Su Yifeng, what did I do wrong to you as your brother that you would slander me like this? Su Yihong was unaware of what Jingyun knew, and all he wanted to do was calm Mama Su. Mom, please help me with this. What are you thinking, Feng? He's your brother in the end. How could you treat him like an enemy? Mama Su was feeling 1,000 discomfort right then. Feng, explain yourself right now. Papa Su had given Jingyun a death order as well. After all, Jingyun had only returned to the Su family for a few days, whereas Su Yihong had lived with the Su couple for years. Naturally, they would side with Su Yihong more. It was only human nature, and Jingyun certainly did not take his parents' attitude to heart. If you want to know the answer, you have to understand one thing first. Brother, whose child is he? It wasn't just Su Yihong who was stunned by Jingyun's words. Even the Su couple were. Feng, are you crazy? I carried him for 10 months and gave birth to him. How could it be fake? Mama Su promptly retorted. Jingyun stared at Su Yihong just as Su Yihong was staring back at him. Mom, that's not what I mean. You carried brother for 10 months and gave birth to him, but then you're saying that I did it behind your father's back. Mom, when you gave birth to brother, someone else's mistress gave birth in that hospital as well, and the real brother had long since been swapped. Jingyun explained to Mama Su before turning to Su Yihong. Am I right, brother? I don't know what you're talking about. Su Yihong naturally would not admit it. The more you talk, the more confused I am. Feng, hurry up and explain. Even a gentle person like Mama Su could not stand Jingyun's tantalizing words. Su Yifeng, you wouldn't be framing your own brother for the Su family's inheritance, would you? You've been with the Crown Prince of Huangyao for so many years. You should have learned a lot about scheming. However, I didn't expect that the person you're going to deal with is actually me. I told you long ago that I would definitely find out who left me in Jiantuan back then. Mother, father, the eldest son in front of you is actually the child of my eldest uncle and his mistress. My real eldest brother unfortunately died when he was just a few years old after he was swapped. Mama Su took 2 steps back in shock at Jingyun's words. This is impossible. Su Yifeng, you're really good at making up stories. Su Yihong found the whole thing laughable. It's easy to imagine how many tricks you've thought of over the last few days to gain power in the Su family. Whether it's true or not, we'll know after a test. Why would I take such a huge risk to slander you? Jingyun asked in return. You don't have to admit it, but I have evidence that my uncle's mistress gave birth in the hospital. As for your identity, everything will be revealed after a DNA test with my father. I just wanted to dig out the truth about who abandoned me back then, but I accidentally found out about your relationship. Papa Su couldn't help turning to Su Yihong at that. Eldest, is that true? Father, I've been with the Su family for so many years. Don't you trust me? How many days has it been since Su Yifeng returned? Su Yihong quickly played the family card. After learning about that, I made a bold assumption. Why did eldest brother fly to the Su family's private mansion on the island first when father and eldest uncle were fighting over the management rights? I suspected that eldest uncle was the one who took me away, but I would have been used as a bargaining chip to threaten father when you were fighting over the management rights. So why was I abandoned? It bothered me for a long time, and it was only when I found out about eldest brother and eldest uncle's relationship that I finally understood. As long as I'm not in the Su family, eldest brother is the rightful heir. And since he's the heir, doesn't that mean that eldest uncle succeeded in seizing power? That's why eldest brother personally took me to Jianchuan and abandoned me, while eldest uncle never bothered the Su family after so many years, and instead supported them diligently. Moreover, eldest brother, you're unmarried. Why are you still unmarried even though you're over 40? The reason is simple. Your blood type doesn't match your parents, and if you marry and have children, your blood type would easily be exposed. That's why you have to be careful. Do you understand the answer now? Su Yihong couldn't help clapping for Jing Yun at that. I really couldn't tell that you're not just brilliant in your methods, but also outstanding in your storytelling. You've said so much, but where's the evidence? Then tell me first, are you and eldest uncle really father and son? Jing Yun retorted, not to be outdone. Of course I'm father and mother's child. So confident. Jing Yun couldn't help chuckling. You might not know this, eldest brother, but I did a DNA test with you when you weren't paying attention, and it showed that we're cousins. Who would know if it's real or not? Su Yihong refused to admit it. It doesn't matter. You can do it as many times as you want. Jing Yun said. I just want to tell you that you shouldn't think about getting out of this unscathed after setting me up. Just wait and see. With that, Su Yihong continued to stand by the door of the surgery room, waiting for eldest uncle's surgery to be over. Meanwhile, Su Yihong's parents were in a complete mess. They simply didn't know who to believe and could only stand awkwardly by the door of the surgery room. Unable to hold back any longer, Mama Su pulled Jing Yun aside and told him, that joke you made just now was too much. How could you hurt your eldest brother like that? Mother, does the fact that you've pulled me here mean you have doubts? Mama Su said nothing. After all, she had searched for Jing Yun at the airport for a long time after she lost him, and spent the last few days in a miserable state. Even so, she knew very well that when she returned to the Su family's island, she found Su Yihong's clothes that he never wore before in his room. Moreover, Jing Yun wasn't young then. How could he simply follow a stranger? Unless that person was someone he knew and trusted enough. Your father and I will naturally get to the bottom of this matter. You have to be quick or Su Yihong would have emptied Su Holdings. Chapter 377. Since they had fallen out, there was no way they could get along well from now on. Mother and son returned to the door of the surgery room, and the eldest Su uncle soon left the room accompanied by a nurse. Are you all right, eldest uncle? Su Yihong asked as he approached him. The eldest Su uncle's face was pale, but it was only his hand that was hurt. It's just a finger. It's not a big deal, but you have to be careful from now on, Yifeng. Don't be so reckless. You don't know, eldest uncle, but our third brother said a lot of unbelievable things during your surgery, including that I'm actually your son. The eldest Su uncle did a double take at those words before laughing out loud. Is that so? So funny. Jing Yun laughed as well. What's true can't be fake and what's fake can't be real. It's best if we don't meet each other in the future. Su Yihong said sternly. I'll have someone arrange another place for you to stay. Why aren't you leaving the Su family, eldest brother? You can do whatever you want in front of mom and dad if I leave. Do you think I don't know what you're up to? Su Yihong was determined to be the dominant figure. It was truly admirable that he could keep his composure even when the truth was just a paper's breadth away. That applies to you too, eldest brother. After all, I don't know what you would say in front of mom and dad, which is why I'm not moving out, Jing Yun said. Just like that, the two brothers began to hate each other, leaving the Su couple helpless. I've really saved an ingrate today. The eldest Su uncle could not help snorting. Still, Yihong, your parents know what kind of person you are after being with the Su family for so many years. Don't worry, those people wouldn't be able to sow discord with just a few words. Don't worry. Eldest brother and eldest uncle can do a DNA test and everything will be fine. I'll be waiting. With that, eldest uncle Su turned to look at his younger brother. Third brother, you're amazing. You've only returned to the Su family for a few days and you're already stirring up trouble. You better keep your eyes open or else it won't look good when you get tricked. As for my hand, I originally wanted to let it go. But since you, my son, want to do this, I have no choice but to hold back. You should compensate me for what you should. Also, in the future he will be the only one at Su Enterprise. Both father and son were quite good. After following Xianxia for so many years and seeing so many actors, the pair's acting skills were above average. After that, both eldest Uncle Su and Su Yihong left the hospital, while Mama Su turned to Jing Yun and said, "Let's go home. Your father needs to investigate this matter." "All right." Jing Yun nodded. After that, the family of three returned to the Su residence, where Su Yihong was already sitting on the living room sofa, watching the three of them. "Mother, just who exactly left the Su family?" "The two of you have to say something." It appeared that Su Yihong was trying to force Jing Yun to leave the Su family. Mama Su had always been smart, but she was clearly troubled when it came to that, which was why she simply looked at Papa Su. "You make the decision on this matter." Sigh. Papa Su sighed and answered his family. "Since things have come to this, we must first investigate who is lying. How about this, Mum? I'll arrange another place for you, Yifeng and Minglan, but we still have to prepare for the wedding." What Papa Su meant was that he and Su Yihong would stay in the manor. "I'll bring you back when things are sorted out." Mama Su thought about it and decided that it was the best solution at the moment. "All right, I'll listen to you. What about you, Yifeng?" "I'll naturally listen to you, father." After all, in that very moment, Jing Yun appeared to be a pusher who had disrupted a happy family. Even so, Mama Su understood Jing Yun well. If things like this were not cleared up, the damage would only be greater in the end. "That's good. I'll do the DNA test as soon as possible, father." Live outside. How could Jing Yun not worry? Would Su Yihong spare him after he had disrupted Su Yihong's career over the years? That was why he promptly brought Xing Minglan and Mama Su to Jing Ting. In the end, Xing Minglan was a Xing and there was nothing wrong with her staying here. Still, he even brought his elders. Xing Xiao couldn't help frowning. He can't even handle such a small matter and is even chased out. Eighth brother Jing Yun almost lost both his hands today. If he doesn't make things clear now, who knows what Su Yihong would do behind his back. That's why he had no choice. Xing Minglan explained. Rising from the sofa, Xing Xiao did not really make things difficult for them. "You can stay at Jing Ting for now. And I will return to the Shin's residence." "Actually, young Master Xing, you don't have to go through all that trouble. And you are Jing Yun's mother and naturally a guest. You would feel uncomfortable with Chier and I here, and we have our own things to do. It's more convenient to stay at the Shin's residence for now." Xing Xiao replied. "Eighth brother, are you really not going to care about the Xing family's affairs? I'm just a live-in son-in-law with nothing to do right now. Don't you know that?" Xing Xiao raised a brow at Xing Minglan. "I don't believe you." Xing Minglan rolled her eyes. "Still, I do have to be careful this time. I have many places under my name and I wouldn't have to bother you and Xiaoqi." At that, Xing Xiao smiled and looked seductively at Jing Yun. There are only two outcomes when the matter is exposed. The first is to fill in the loophole, but it cannot be hidden forever when it comes to blood ties. That is why Su Yihong is holding you guys back now, but he is more likely to lean towards the second objective, which is to make time to empty Su Holdings. Because he knows that it's only a matter of time before his identity is exposed. And that eldest uncle of yours has been working with Su Yihong for years at Su Holdings. There's no telling how many traps he has set, and Su Holdings would definitely be in trouble if this continues. What do you plan to do? Jing Yun looked at Xing Xiao as well but said nothing. You've been with me for so many years. Such a small matter shouldn't trouble you, right? I'm guessing that Uncle Su is staying at the manor because he knows what Su Yihong is up to. What I'm afraid of is that Su Yihong has already prepared the shell of his new company, and is ready to slip away. Mama Su felt a chill just by hearing that. Chapter 378. Luckily, I managed to cut my losses in time. The title of the Crown Prince is indeed well-deserved. Mama Su couldn't help sighing at that. It's also fortunate that Feng has learned to be calm and reserved after being with you for so many years, or eldest brother would have played him to death. The reason Mama Su was so certain that Su Yihong was a fake was because Jing Yun had shown her the DNA test. Thinking back to what had happened all those years ago, Papa Su might not have noticed it. But as a mother and a woman, it wasn't as if she couldn't feel anything. For example, Su Yihong had deliberately led her down many wrong paths when she was searching for Jing Yun over the years. Although the imposter's excuse was so high-sounding when he was discovered, and instead of having Mama Su keep searching, it would be better to find a fake one. Everything would be perfect. If you're smart, uncle, you would immediately suspend Su Yihong from his position and cut off all contact between him and Su Holdings. After all, there could be a good reason. All right, I've said so much. It's time for me to pick up Qi. After all, I'm a person who has nothing better to do now. Thank you, young master. Jing Yun told Xianxia. Xianxia waved him off nonchalantly. He knew from the start that Jing Yun's matter wouldn't go so smoothly. How could Su Yihong be exposed so easily after lurking in Su Holdings for so many years? Not even Jing Yun himself had such a dream. Still, Su Yihong's methods were ruthless and he couldn't let him stay in the dark anymore. Mu Qiqi couldn't help asking Xianxia when she saw that they were heading to the Shin's residence today. Grandpa, are we going back for dinner? Jing Yun has taken over Jing Ting for the time being. Xianxia replied and told Mu Qiqi everything that happened to Jing Yun at Su Holdings today. Mu Qiqi couldn't help shuddering when she heard it all. I've been to Su Yihong's class. Xianxia raised his voice dangerously. It was that time when I was waiting for my instructor. I saw that man from afar and knew that he wasn't simple at all. The dominance and ambition he showed left a deep impression. That's why Jing Yun has met his match. Xianxia chuckled. I can also see what this person has learned after following me for all these years. Both of them returned to the Shin residence, but the smell on Mu Qiqi was unbearable. That was why the first thing Xianxia did was to have Mu Qiqi take a bath in her room. When old Shin saw Xianxia entering the fish pond alone, he knew that his granddaughter must have run into some terrible corpse. My retired comrades often talked to me about you in the past few days. After all, our families have been friends for generations. It's really a pity that things have come to this. Your second brother is in charge of the Xing family now. Rumor has it that your grandfather has already announced that he is cutting all ties with you and drawing a clear line between them. It's true. Xianxia looked at the calm surface of the water and smiled. I'd be happy to see him nurture a new force. Seeing that he had really let it go, Grandpa Xing stopped talking about the Xing family. How's Zhongting going? I'm meeting with the military procurement department tomorrow. Xianxia replied. Let's see if the crown prince can still make it in another line of work. The old man teased Xianxia. You have nothing now. You're only able to do whatever you want under the Shin family's protection because you're basking in Mu Qiqi's light. That's why I say that Qi is my lucky charm. Xianxia did not mind the old man's teasing at all, just as the old man did not really despise Xianxia for having nothing. The kid had talent and means, which was why Grandpa Xing would keep pestering him. One more thing. Rumor has it that the granddaughter of an old friend would come to the Xing family in 2 days. Do you know about that? Old friend? It was the young lady of the Gu family whom old Xing had taken a liking to. Even if he didn't return to Huangyao, Grandpa Gu was still determined to stand on the same side as the Gu family, right? I hope that this matter won't cause any harm to Xiaoqi. In that case, it would be better to know if the young lady whom old Xing had taken a liking to was for him or second brother. Meanwhile, after Mama Su and the others left the Su residence, Papa Su suspended Su Yihong for the time being, just as Xianxia expected. Yihong, I believe you're innocent, but this is a serious matter. I have to get to the bottom of this and clear your name, or you would be criticized no matter how much you do for Su Holdings. Su Yihong naturally pretended to be innocent. Don't worry, Dad. I understand. All right, we'll do a paternity test tomorrow. Be that as it may, Su Yihong was talking to eldest Uncle Su on the phone behind Papa Su's back. Our combined shares are the second largest in the Su family, and I'm holding the latest project at Su Holdings. With Fei Fei helping me with the accounting fraud, what's left of Su Holdings now? The new project is the most valuable. You have to keep an eye on it. That alone is enough for us to leave and start our own business. What are we waiting for? My silly brother is still trying to investigate our relationship. What's there to investigate? Dad, you can leave Su Holdings first. I'll cover you. You really shouldn't underestimate Su Yifeng. I didn't expect that he would dig out what we've been hiding for years. Do you have the confidence to escape unscathed? I don't think he's easy. Su Yihong couldn't help chuckling at that. It's too late even if he has 3 heads and 6 arms. Moreover, I really don't think he's anything special. Isn't he just tagging along with that crown prince of Huangyao? Now that Xianxia has been chased out of the Xing family and Huangyao has been shuffled, what does he have to fear? Su Yihong was cautious enough, but he was still a little conceited. That said, I'd like to see how Su Yifeng would turn things around. Turn things around? That was easy. It was late at night at Jingting. The living room was still lit, and Jingyun was talking to Xiao on the phone while Mama Su and Xing Minglan were asleep. I've learned from Mother that Su Yihong holds the latest research results of Su Holdings. He's the future of Su Holdings, and I've calculated his and eldest uncle's shares. They're a great threat to Su Holdings too. What research results could it be that he's holding on to? Xiao asked Jingyun in return. It's not as if we haven't faced such a situation before. He wants to take it? Then let him take it. As long as your father tells the relevant departments that the technology is a major safety hazard, or come up with a more serious reason to stop it, what use is there for him to hold on to the latest research results? Chapter 379. Having showered, Xing Zhao's muscular body was revealed as he sat on the sofa in the room, talking to Jing Yun on the phone. After all, every room in the Shin family's villa had its own bathroom and study, and he liked the antique furnishings from the bottom of his heart. Tomorrow was the day he would take a new step. Without the dazzling diamonds and his status as the crown prince, he must now be more composed and reserved, and definitely could not show his old image to others. Mu Qiqi was aware that he would be discussing the partnership with Zhongting tomorrow. That was why she sat on the bed after her shower and carefully observed the man. Although Xiao was reading documents and talking to Jing Yun on the phone, he knew that the little one was staring at him with a heated gaze, and he could not concentrate. You're peeking at me for so long. Are you all right? Mu Qiqi smiled as she got off the bed and climbed onto Xiao's lap. Who asked you to be so handsome? Is there something you want to talk to me about? Tomorrow, isn't it a new start for Zhongting? I hope everything goes well for my husband. Mu Qiqi looked down at Xiao's collarbone and traced the shape of the tattoo with her finger. Xiao looked down at the little one in his arms and gave her a peck on her lips. At least you have a conscience. It's not a waste for me to abandon the Diamond Empire. Well, it's getting late. Let's rest. Mu Qiqi started drawing circles on Xiao's chest. Holding her little hand, Xiao carried her horizontally and walked towards the bed. In fact, Huang Yu and Mu Qiqi had been gossiping about the Xing family after dinner, telling her that Miss Gu was coming to visit them. The outside world had many speculations after the two families made such a big fuss. Old Xing, you found another backer for Huang Yao. Now that second brother and third sister are not married, second brother is most likely to get married. You don't know second aunt. Mu Qiqi smiled at Huang Yu. Why do you think old Xing is in such a hurry to call off my engagement with Xiao? He's not preparing Miss Gu for the rest of the Xing family but for Xiao. But hasn't eighth brother already left Huang Yao? Old Xing probably thinks that Xiao is throwing a tantrum. Moreover, even if Xiao is outside, the two families could still ignore his feelings and settle things on their own. Mu Qiqi knew very well about old Xing. She had almost figured out all of his tricks. Even without eighth brother's consent? When has he ever respected the opinions of his grandchildren? Mu Qiqi asked Huang Yu in return. Huang Yu gave Mu Qiqi a thumbs up after hearing that. You are becoming more and more like the eldest daughter of the Shen family now. You are not like the timid little girl when we first met. Why are you afraid of the Xing family? The Shin family is not a family that ordinary people can get involved with. Mu Qiqi smiled. Qiqi, I mean, if eighth brother was forced to go back and marry the young lady of the Gu family, what would you do? Although it was an impossible assumption in her mind, she thought about it carefully since Huang Yu asked. What if? Huang Yu said, what if? There would come a day when Xiao must marry the young lady of the Gu family, and I would find the strongest man to marry, and ignore him. Huang Yu couldn't help laughing at that. You're the one who can't bear to. Gu Xiling, the young lady of the Gu family, was about to visit the Xing family. Old Xing had deliberately leaked the news so that Xianxia would know that if he did not return to the Xing family, neither the heir of Huang Yao nor the young lady of the Gu family would belong to him. Of course, Old Xing's move was probably meant to slap the Shen family in the face. I've broken off my engagement with you and found another perfect marriage alliance. Still, everyone knows that the crown prince has abandoned Huang Yao and would rather stay with the Shen family as a pauper with nothing. The next day was a big day for the Xing family. Thanks to second brother's arrangements, the Gu family was bringing Gu Xiling to the Xing family as a guest. In fact, it was Old Xing's first time meeting Gu Xiling in person, and he had only seen her in pictures before. Many things had happened to the Xing family recently, and they were in a precarious situation. Grandpa Xing had brought her over at this time because he wanted to stabilize Huang Yao. After all, with a strong marriage alliance, their strength would be even stronger. It was to let the outside world see that Huang Yao had Su Holdings first and then the Gu family. Even if Xianxia was not here, the shareholders would have full confidence in Huang Yao. Second brother had been busy for days just for this meeting. Still, although the engagement with the Shen family had been broken off, eighth brother was not at home. Was the old man not afraid that the Gu family would not be willing to have the Gu family come? At the moment he was not aware that he was one of the candidates. That morning, several white Maseratis drove to the Xing family's house. Mama Gu was not the only guest, but also Papa Gu and Gu Xiling's aunt. There were only 4 of them, but they brought 8 bodyguards. It was probably to set the scene for Gu Xiling. Everyone in the Xing family had returned, but not Xing Zhao's family. In the instant that Gu Xiling entered the house in her long black dress, second brother felt as if something had struck him in the heart. All he could think about was Gu Xiling's fiery red lips. She had long wavy hair and a face that resembled a goose egg, with a tear-shaped mole beneath her fine eyelashes that was particularly eye-catching. Of course, there was a hint of coldness in the young lady's presence. The young lady of the Gu family is truly extraordinary. Xiling, you should treat the Xing family as your own. You're too kind, Grandpa Xing. Gu Xiling was very aware of the Xing family's current situation. Her parents wanted her to choose between Xianxia and the second young master and see who she liked. If she liked the second young master, things would be simple. Get engaged and get married. But if it was Xianxia, things would be much more complicated. After all, Xianxia was not with the Xing family at all but the Shen family. Gu Xiling had naturally heard about what happened between him and Mu Qiqi. Xiling, take a good look at second young master. Do you like him? Mama Gu asked her daughter quietly, gesturing at second brother with her chin after everyone had taken their seats. Gu Xiling glanced at second brother before answering her mother. Isn't there another one? Does that mean you're leaning towards Xianxia, the crown prince? I would like to meet him. Gu Xiling said. Since you're staying with the Xing family for some time, you would have the chance to meet him. It's a little troublesome, but my daughter likes it. Chapter 380. Second brother, you like Miss Gu, don't you? Sixth brother chuckled when he saw second brother's gaze. Well, it's no wonder. Such an icy beauty with such a temperament would definitely make anyone want to conquer her. Still, it's a shame that grandfather is keeping her for eighth brother. Don't talk nonsense. Second brother warned him. It would be better if eighth brother never returned to the Xing family. He could just be a pauper at the Shen family. Sixth brother's unintentional words really gave second brother an idea. He had certainly been convinced by Xing Zhao's methods when he was around, which was why he always let Xianxia do whatever he wanted, believing that it was only natural. But now that Xianxia did not want anything from the Xing family, second brother believed that he had the right to compete with eighth brother. I don't have to say it, but I really don't care for Miss Gu's looks and family background. So what if she's the mayor? Don't even think about Miss Gu. Grandfather has plans. Second brother, don't tell me I don't even know this much. I know Miss Gu isn't keeping it for me, but I think you could try to fight for her. Miss Gu would be staying at our house for a while. You could slowly cultivate your feelings. Just as sixth brother finished speaking, old Xing told second brother, find some time to walk around with Xiling and familiarize yourself with the Xing family. Don't disappoint me, second brother. Don't worry, grandfather. Gu Xiling turned to look at second brother. The truth was that the man's looks were top-notch, or at least 1 in a million. Even so, she had great expectations for the legendary crown prince. There were some things that she would never know unless she met him. At the moment, Xianxia was wearing a very formal black handmade suit in a very formal business clubhouse, walking together with a group of people in military uniform. Su Che was beside him, looking no different from a soldier. I really didn't expect that the crown prince of Huangyao would start a military business after leaving the Xing family. Life is full of twists and choices, isn't it? Secretary He. Xianxia had arranged everything very well. Because of the man's identity, Xianxia had always strived to keep a low profile. That left the man very satisfied. He was already aware of Xing Zhao's invincibility in the business world, and his great success at such a young age. He certainly had extraordinary skills. Xianxia, I hope that the quality of your products would live up to my trust. Thank you, Secretary He. The quality of military supplies is very important. Nothing is more important than quality. Then, let's have a pleasant cooperation. Just like how it was back at Huangyao, Xianxia had secured a major contract with Zhongting. Such an outstanding young man. I'll see you off, brother. While old Xing was plotting how to make Xianxia admit defeat, Xianxia had already successfully negotiated the partnership between Zhongting and the military. Other than his relationship with the Shen family, his personal ability was also an important factor in the other party's choice. Such a person when he was in Huangyao was so sharp, but now that he had changed his profession, he immediately put away his edge. He did not drive a sports car, did not wear bright clothes, and spoke and did things modestly and calmly. This man, his life was very flexible. Brother. Xingte's brother Shen. Xianxia and Su Che saw her off safely and then returned to the Shen family. Chief Xing, you seem to understand the needs of the army. Su Che had learned another thing about Xianxia today. She had thought that since he was in the diamond business and had suddenly changed his profession, he would more or less be ignorant of the trade. However, after listening to Xing Zhao's briefing to Secretary He today, he felt that Xianxia had been in the military before. Xianxia sat in the car and closed his eyes slightly. It's not difficult to know what the other party wants. I just need to observe you carefully. Su Che froze for a moment. It turned out that Xianxia had such considerations when he asked him to be his assistant. There were some people that you just couldn't help but admire. So, are we going to use this method to receive customers in the future? Let's keep a low profile if we can, Xianxia said. After all, everyone we come into contact with now has a shocking background. In the future he would not be able to play those tricks anymore. But it's also more mysterious and powerful, isn't it? Xing Zhao's lips curled into a smile. He adjusted himself to a comfortable angle and closed his eyes. That's more interesting, isn't it? Well, it's still early. Where are we going? Put me in the forensics lab. You go back to the Shen family. Are you going to see Miss Chi-Chi as an assistant? That was not a place anyone could enter. Even if he was Chier's partner, he could not simply enter the criminal investigation department. Mu Chi-Chi had been seeing more corpses lately, and her experience was gradually increasing. She could analyze whether it was homicide, suicide, poisoning, or drowning, and whether the corpse was found at the first crime scene or where the body was dumped. The professor from the forensics department really liked Mu Chi-Chi. Otherwise, he wouldn't have specially recruited a freshman to be his assistant. But today Mu Chi-Chi was faced with a charred corpse. It was quite similar to when Su Ziqing passed away. So much time had passed without her realizing it. Chi-Chi, what do you think about the corpse today? The victim was burned after death. If he was burned alive, his muscles would have contracted due to the heat and his limbs would be in a fighting stance. That is why the corpse would not have any signs of life before it was burned. Following that line of thought, we should look for other causes of death. In fact, Mu Chi-Chi wanted to say that she could tell the victim's age from the obvious wound on the head, but she felt that she was still too young and it would be best for her to speak less. That's as good as not saying anything. The experienced forensics professor could not help chuckling. Mu Chi-Chi studied seriously and walked out of the forensics lab an hour later. It was the first time Xianxia saw Mu Chi-Chi wearing a white gown. From the looks of it, she really had a trace of a forensic doctor's aura. Why are you here, Xiao? Mu Chi-Chi naturally went to him when she saw him. To bring you home. Xianxia replied. With that, he reached out to hug Mu Chi-Chi, but Mu Chi-Chi dodged his hand. There's a smell on my body. We've already discussed about the cooperation, right? It could be seen from Xing Zhao's formal black tailor-made suit. Can we go now? Mu Qiqi took off her white gown and nodded. Yes. Where are you taking me? You're tuning in to the Zhou Xian's Legacy YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.